It's here. It's Lawrence Tech Giving Day. Time to show your pride, flex that spirit, and give back like never before. Support scholarships, boost programs, fuel student dreams. Every dollar counts. And today, your gift goes even further with matching challenges and surprise unlocks. This is our day to make history. Go Blue Devils.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and coming to you straight from campus as we celebrate an incredible milestone. 5 amazing years of generosity, community, and impact. So whether you are a proud alum, a dedicated student, a supportive faculty or staff member, or just a friend of LTU, today is all about you and the power we have when we come together. So welcome officially to Lawrence Technological University's 5th annual Giving Day. So we're going to be live streaming from 12 to 3 p.m., packed with awesome content, interviews, stories from alumni, students, faculty, staff, and donors who help make LTU's mission possible. You're going to hear firsthand how your support fuels scholarships, athletics, and so much more. And the celebration doesn't stop when the stream ends. Tonight, we're keeping the party going at Southfield with a special Giving Day event at Fuddruckers from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Come hang out with us. We're covering the food in your first round of drinks,
correct,
which is awesome. It's our way of saying thank you for being a part of the LTU family. Now, to help us kick off this incredible day, I'm thrilled to introduce someone who lives and breathes Blue Devil pride, our very own Vice President of Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement, Kevin Finn. Welcome, Kev.
Hey, Lauren, good to do this with you again.
Yes, sir.
And yes, we are looking forward to a day of good spirit, great stories of people who are making an incredible impact on our campus, as well as inspiring others to help out, but just a great day to be a part of the community.
Absolutely. And so there's a lot of things that come out of LTU's Giving Day. And some of the things I'd like you to touch on, emergency scholarships for future innovators. I know it's going to be renamed at some point, but that's important.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. You have a student that maybe it's late in the semester, they paid their tuition, everything's going good, but then all of a sudden their car breaks down. And you got a student now who's like, I can't make it to my finals. Well, no, now we can give them a couple $100, get that tire fixed, and keep them in classes. Or sometimes there's that extra tool you need that you didn't plan on. So it really helps. Or just sometimes jobs, you lose them, and we know that student will bounce back on their feet, but we can help them in the meantime with those funds that people have given to the emergency scholarship.
Absolutely, and maybe the most important, the LTU Scholarship Fund.
Oh, there you go. Over 80% of our students rely on some form of scholarship. We don't have enough. I mean, students need help with their scholarshiping. The other part is higher ed is very competitive, and every student here, although I think they're all happy and they picked the right school, obviously they have choices in front of them, so that financial package is something important for us to offer them, and we want to make sure that they have the support for they're not leaving here in massive debt.
Yeah. Something we're going to talk about later on the live stream is the Sam Dekuiper Fund.
Yes.
Talk about that, and it's really shown some incredible support.
It is. Unfortunately, Sam is a recent graduate of Lawrence Tech, and last May, he was coming back to campus to celebrate with his friends for their graduation. That's just the type of person Sam was. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he was in a car accident that day and lost his life. But in less than a year, his parents and the community really rallied and wanted to continue, honoring Sam and having an impact, and they chose to start a scholarship here. And they've raised over $50,000 at this point, and there's no signs of them stopping. Right. And I just am blown away with how committed they've been to it, and they've went through a lot in the last year. I'm looking forward to seeing them later on the live stream and thanking them.
Absolutely, no question about it. And the Engineering Technology Department is another suggested fund.
So, today we're going to actually, when we're done, we have a Hall of Fame induction for Professor Ken Cook. And Professor Cook, we did lose him last April. But he lived a long and great life. Over 60 years of work at Lawrence Tech. He impacted so many people. And, he wanted to do one last thing, and that was he gave us a very significant donation of $1 million to help the Engineering Technology Department. And we're asking people who want to continue to help with that to give that today as well, if that's a choice that motivates them.
Absolutely. Just a legend here.
He is. I mean, you saw him with the magic tricks.
And we're going to see some.
Yeah.
we're going to see some at that particular ceremony.
Always had a good joke,
Yeah.
and that clock behind us.
Yeah.
there, that was Ken and some students. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
And then
well-
you and I both love football, right?
Yes.
Ken did a lot of research and with his son, who will be here later on today, on concussions, and they were one of the first people really working with the NFL on that data.
Wow.
I had no idea. until
Yeah.
recently,
Wow. Very interesting. So the PKU Challenge.
Yeah. So, the original fraternity at Lawrence Tech is Phi Kappa Upsilon. They were formed actually by our founding president, Lawrence Russell. But so many men who have been a part of that fraternity have been successful, and what they've done is they want to continue to help with scholarship, and they're challenging each other. So they have over 400 members in their history, and they're saying, hey, today 2 of their former members said, if you give $1, I'll give another $1 in addition to mine. And so really nice. They're trying to get that scholarship where it awards out every year $10,000 for the long term.
All right, that's awesome. So a couple more things. We'll just kind of breeze through these some things that the funds will go to. How about the College of Health Sciences and the Fund for Excellence?
Yeah, actually, that was our first donation yesterday. Dean Scutton is in need of funds to help students out with different opportunities. We're building up her funds for that, and I know already a few donations have come in. Like I said, it was the first one. But, a lot of people don't realize how big our health sciences program is. And I know the dean's going to join us later, but whether it's physician's assistant, nursing, cardiovascular perfusion, we have a lot of different programs there now.
Yeah, and staying along those same lines, we've got a few centers here on campus. The Healthcare Violence Reduction.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. You think about it. A year ago, Dr. Sobh and I were touring with one of our alums, Tampa Bay General Hospital, and she took us to their security department. And hospitals, unfortunately, nurses in particular, they're dealing with people who aren't in their best mindset a lot of times, dealing with pain, different issues, but they often take that out on our healthcare professionals, and we don't have enough of them. We can't afford to get them hurt, right?
Yeah.
We got to protect them, and also have it where the patients are protected as well, and so that's what that center is about.
All right, and there's other things too. We don't even have time to go through it, but
it's a scroll.
But yes, but we're going to revisit all of this and more throughout the course of today's live stream. So the goal right now is 250 alumni donors. So that is what we're looking for. But right now, we're going to welcome in Rachel Hicken, who is going to talk about the history of Giving Day, our monetary goal for this day, of course, how you can donate. Thank you so much for joining us on our special 5th anniversary of LTU Giving Day. We've got an exciting lineup in store.
So happy to be back for our 5th anniversary and our 3rd year doing this live stream. So since our first Giving Day in 2021, we've raised over $900,000 towards scholarships, resources, and just growing our university. I've been lucky to be a part of this since 2021. And I just love how much this has grown over the years. We started just a small little program to figure out how can we increase our impact overall, to new matches and challenges, hosting events like the one tonight, and of course our live stream broadcasts. I've been really inspired over the years from the stories that we've shared to the growing generosity. So again, for today's Giving Day, our goal is to reach 250 alumni donors. Anything that you can give will be really appreciated, whether this is your first time making a gift or this is several. Your gift will really make a difference for our students. So you can make a gift at ltu.edu/givingday, and there's a big button that says Give Now. Any gift that you can make will really make a difference for our university.
Well, all right. Yeah, all right. Thank you. In this first hour, we're going to be diving right into what makes Lawrence Tech such a special place. You'll hear from LTU President Dr. Tarek Sobh. We'll get an update from our Alumni Association, watch a dynamic panel discussion video highlighting the incredible impact of your support. We'll also spotlight Stacy Frankovic and the important work happening at LTU's Healthcare Violence Reduction Center, and we'll take a moment to talk about stewardship and why thanking our donors is such a vital part of today's celebration. Kevin, in the 1 p.m. hour, we'll be talking with representatives from COAD, from COAS, which is Architecture and Design, Arts and Sciences, and then COHS, which is Health Sciences, and Dr. Mary Scutton as we and some student life. So a lot in the 1 o'clock hour.
Could be fun.
Okay.
Busy day.
Yeah, it is, no doubt about it. And then the energy will keep building as we head into our final hour of the live stream at 2 p.m. With some truly meaningful and impacting stories ahead. We'll begin with a heartfelt feature on Sam Dekuiper's family, who Kevin alluded to, and they share the impact of the Memorial Scholarship created in his honor. We'll also spotlight the College of Business and IT, including a panel discussion with Matt Cole and Jackie Stavros as they talk about innovation leadership, what's next for LTU business students. And we'll turn to the College of Engineering as we honor the legacy of Ken Cook. And yes, you won't want to miss some of the magic in that moment, literally. And we'll wrap it up with a panel of colleagues of Ken Cook to talk more about the impact that he had at LTU. So stay with us. It is going to be a powerful hour celebrating the people and stories that define Lawrence Tech. So Kevin, why don't you introduce our first guest?
I will do that. I'm proud to say our president, Dr. Sobh. We've been doing a lot of visits together lately, but he's the vision. And Dr. Sobh, why don't you start off with our recent Florida trip? Seeing alumni. What you thought about it?
It was amazing. I mean, staying with you in the car for 20 hours. No, I'm just kidding.
I do apologize.
Actually, it was an incredible experience. Witnessing firsthand and seeing so many of our incredibly distinguished alumni so many years after they have graduated, and to see the success that they have enjoyed in life and their careers and their professions, and in some cases even seeing multi-generational families of LTU graduates. And then, of course, at the same time, witnessing the impact of their philanthropy on the current generation of students that we have, and sharing these successes with them was truly very, very inspiring. I had a magnificent time. I always joke I love my Florida trips in general, but this one was something very special. The impact of the philanthropy of our alumni and donors, and sharing that impact was truly transformative. So it was a pretty good trip. So
yeah, we weren't able to bring that sunshine with the warmth back yet, but
no, it's
we'll
like
work
30
on it.
degrees outside, but it's okay.
Dr. Sobh, what would you say? If you're an alum and you're looking at ways you can help the university, what are areas at the university that need help right now?
Again, I think our intentional focus on student scholarships for the last couple of years has really paid off, Kevin. So in my opinion, our primary and, again, intentionally the first priority for all of our fundraising activities continues to be really sponsoring and enabling amazing students that we already have to finish up the programs that they're in, and as importantly, try to entice and inspire and support students who are exceptional, and without that kind of support, they would be unable to attend Lawrence Tech. And I think that continues to be our focus for at least the upcoming future. And it is really making a difference. I think we're going to talk later about the Gala.
We definitely are going to spend some time on that today.
On May 17th. But as a simple example, in our very first inaugural version of the Gala last year, that Gala enabled more than 40 students to attend Lawrence Tech who would not have been able otherwise. So this kind of support, these kind of scholarships are not only changing students' lives, they are changing their families' life, they are changing communities, and that's something to be very, very proud of and to be inspired about. So answering the question, I think, again, the student scholarships continue and remain to be a very important priority. We do have, of course, growing programs, particularly in the areas of health sciences, that I think would enjoy some support, both for student scholarships in these programs, and also to support facilities that are emerging within health sciences. We are very much looking forward to establishing our first community clinic on campus, which would not only serve our own student staff, but also would be for outward facing and serve the community that we live in, and would be the perfect training grounds for our physician assistants and nursing students and cardiovascular perfusion students and allied health students. And it serves a very humane purpose. So supporting the College of Health Sciences is also, I think, one of the top priorities that we have today.
That makes sense to me.
Absolutely. We should get into the scholarship gala.
Oh,
of course.
And
just building on last year's success, which, right out of the gate was super impressive, and just building on that to what's going to be an incredible day this year.
Sure. I mean, I want to make a couple of comments first before, talking about the gala a little bit more in details. There are amazing news to share actually this year. As maybe some of the audience knows, for the first time in Lawrence Technological University's history, our 93 years of storied history, we have been designated as a research university for the very first time. And that is something that's truly very inspiring and will make a humongous difference to the path of success of students who come here and attend Lawrence Tech, because that designation will open up a lot of opportunities for funding that can support these students on their journey. Last year was incredible. Last year, again, more than 40 students were supported because of the gala. I think we had an audience close to 400 guests who attended the gala, and really they made a humongous difference in the lives of our students, and their philanthropy really was transformative. This year we are aiming to double the number of attendees. The setting is iconic, Detroit Station is an iconic location, so I think it will be a fantastic night. The usual, we will have fine dining and dancing and music and entertainment that is world class. But more importantly, I think given the success of the gala last year, we anticipate that this year will enable maybe close to 100 students to be able to come and attend Lawrence Tech and benefit from this transformative education that we provide that would never had a chance otherwise. It's going to be a fun night, and I know that Kevin was able to garner very significant support, but there is still time.
Yes,
I think there is still time. I think we have some spots available.
Yes.
So for those of you who have not yet bought your tickets, please go ahead and do that, and would love to see you at the gala. It will be a fun night, and it will serve really a higher purpose, and it will make a difference.
And how about the innovation theme?
Absolutely, the theme is innovation through the ages, and you will see during the gala many different testimonies and very exciting stories about different facets of the university, both within the 5 colleges, and stories of some of our alumni, and stories about recent transformative gifts to entities like the College of Architecture and Design, and how that is changing lives, and tying that to our iconic Affleck house as an example, and many other stories that are truly very inspiring. Again, Lawrence Tech has always been about incredible, innovative, positive outcomes. And when you take a look at our institution, it is truly, personally, from a personal point of view, I am proud to belong to an institution like this. Our problem here is not to find jobs for our students. Our students graduate as eminent professionals with jobs in hand before they even attend commencement. Our problem in Lawrence Tech, as I always say, is keeping our students till they graduate, because they get job offers right after the first co-op or internship. And again, 95+% of our students participate in these. Our university has enjoyed, in the state of Michigan, the highest starting salary, or salary amongst the highest starting in the state, of all universities, private and public. That's an amazing story to tell. And we guarantee exceptional outcomes for our students, and the path that they take upon graduation is truly amazing. And they come back and help us, and and mentor new students. So it's really a very wonderful ecosystem, right? Where students come here, we support them to graduate, they graduate, and they support new students coming in. And it's been working for us for 93 years. And someone in my position, whenever I visit a company or an industry, the very first thing that is told to me in my visit is we need more graduates, and And that's what we do here. We are a very serious university. Our students attain incredible professional jobs and succeed upon graduation, and make a difference in the industries that they participate in. Our job is to keep doing it.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I promise you're...
You just did.
Suddenly got a little uncomfortable up here.
But I promise your team that we'd keep you on time today, and I know you had a meeting to get to.
It's a pleasure being here, and thank you guys for all your work. And again, I'd like to express my thanks to all of our alumni and to all our donors. We look forward to an amazing year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sobh.
Thank you very much.
President of Lawrence Technological University, Dr. Tarek Sobh, thank you so much for being here and kicking us off today. It's great. You can go to ltu.edu/thegala. That is how you register, or how you sign up to join us for this amazing gala. It's going to be truly something else. That Michigan said the backdrop is going to be amazing.
It's funny. I was driving by it on Saturday night, coming up north on 75, and I was like, oh my God, look how big that is, and beautiful at night too. So it's going to be
we're excited.
Very special.
And just to get you a little more excited, we're going to give you a little taste of what last year's gala was all about. So we have a video to play right now.
This is a day, a night to celebrate your university.
Tonight, your collective generosity in contributing to our scholarship fund, we have secured funding to close the funding gap and provide scholarships for approximately 52 students who would not have made it otherwise.
Let's talk a little bit about the presentation of the Ray Award. It goes to alumni who have done significant things to impact our community and the university over time. And this year we wanted to recognize two different individuals, that being Peter Barclay and John Samet. Please come on up and accept your awards. We kept hearing about professors, administrators, staff members that just made great differences for people's times when they were there. So we decided it just made sense to give our alumni a chance to nominate those individuals who made a difference when they went to the school that worked for the university. And so tonight we begin this Luminary Award. And I think you might have an idea of who our honoree is going to be this night. It's Dr. Richard Lundstrom.
Every year, the city of Dearborn holds a festival called the Ramadan Support Festival to embody the meaning of Ramadan. Through the festival, I was actually able to give out 18 scholarships to students from Dearborn. And last fall, they enrolled in LTU and are now receiving great education and doing amazing things.
We'd like to transition to our keynote speaker tonight, my friend John Donnelly.
Dr. and Mrs. Sobh, distinguished faculty, staff, and trustees, graduates, old and new friends. What an absolute pleasure for me to be here with you tonight, to have a chance to share this story about my late father, Ed Donnelly, which I'm calling 29 Miles.
So ltu.edu/thegala is how you find that out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right. Well, we want to get into something I don't think that gets talked about enough, and that is stewardship. Explain stewardship.
Lauren, you're right. I mean, first of all, the simplest way to explain stewardship is thanking those who have given.
Yeah.
And, today, obviously, we're asking people to consider to give, but we're also very thankful and want to express, like last night, I was having a conversation with Ken and Margaret Greslick, two great members of our Lawrence Tech family, and they were giving me feedback as well about, how they want to have impact and what they're hoping they would see. That's a part of it as well. It's
and
not
you
just,
want that.
Yeah. Like, you want to be able to, number one, let people know you're very thankful that they took the time to give, but you also want to make sure that what they gave it's representing what they would want to do. And it's such an important piece. I never saw myself doing this as an occupation. I really never had a plan, if I was to be honest, in life. I just kind of flow with the river. But what I've come to really respect is when people give, one, they want to see somebody, and I hear this consistently from our alumni when they give, they just want to see somebody get a good shot at life like they did. They want to see them get this opportunity, and they hope they make the most of it. And I think it's very special when you hear that. And so, for us, number one, as a university, if we did not have our donors, this university would be in real trouble. This building we're sitting in, donations, built it.
Right.
These students who we see behind us, scholarship that's helping them. So it's so important. And I think the other part of it, it also gives you somewhat of an indication of how we did in the past. Would you give to something that didn't help you? Probably not, right?
Right.
And I think that's the other part that's really neat. And so what I really enjoy is when people can take the time to tell me why they gave their donation. And when you learn that story of it, it's really, it's really awesome. And then there's people who give, like our trustees, like our former chairman of our board, Dekuiper, who just gave. They're members of the university. They're not necessarily alums, but they know what this university produced. They know how important it is to our society and our economy.
Right.
And they want to continue to make that investment as well.
All right, fantastic. Okay, well, speaking on the topic of stewardship, the faculty and staff made a video earlier in the year, and it really is a love letter to the donors and everyone. And so let's check that video right now.
Lawrence Technological University has always been a place of innovation, technological advancement, and transformative education. Throughout our 92-year history, we have produced industry leaders and professionals who have made lasting contributions to their fields and to society in general. And it is thanks to your incredible generosity that we are able to continue this vital work.
On behalf of College of Engineering, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for your generous contributions. Thank you for making a difference in our students' lives.
On behalf of my colleagues and I in philanthropy, we just want to say thank you for your generosity. You're making a huge impact on our campus. And this video today is just our way of saying to you, thank you for your support of our students. You're making a difference and our dreams are going to come true. Thank you.
Your support helps our students attend this wonderful university and get a world-class education. From the perspective of College of Business, we're grateful that our students are going to be prepared to be the next generation of business professionals, and your support is helping make that happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for all your support to our students. Your contributions has a very profound impact. It allows our students to pursue their dreams and equip them with the needed skills to shape the future.
I want to thank you so much for everything that you do, supporting our students and helping this university grow and being able to achieve the vision that our president has set out for us.
As we're building out this school, one of the things that we really are grateful for is your support, because our students cannot make it without the scholarships that you provide, so that we can continue to provide compassionate caregivers and physician assistant nursing and beyond. Thank you again so much.
We have amazing students doing amazing things, but it's difficult given the cost of higher education for many of our students to be here. And so they're here because of your support. Thank you.
I really want to take this opportunity to thank our donors for their generous contributions to helping out scholarships for our students. Today's landscape in college is ever-changing, and our students will only be able to advance by the generous help that you provide.
I've been here 25 years. We've helped so many students, and it's only because of the grateful opportunities you've provided to them. Please keep it up. We need our students to continue to go out and do great things for Michigan, the region, and the world. And with your scholarships, that will continue to happen. Go Blue Devils, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, there you go. Big thank you. And we are going to move along here. Again, welcome to the 5th Annual LTU Giving Day. My name is Lauren Plant, joined by Kevin Finn, and we've got another guest with us at the table, and the topic for this segment is the Alumni Association. So, gentlemen, here.
Yeah. Well, Scott, tell us about the Alumni Association.
So the Alumni Association has changed quite a bit over the last couple of years, really growing and get a lot more people involved with the Alumni Association because they love the university and we want them to be kind of advocates for us. You know, what's going on our campus. You know, it all starts with homecoming. That's the big event of the year, and we've expanded and done a lot of different events, meet and greets across the state, and we're getting a lot more alumni involved in it, and it's just fun, right?
Yeah.
You get to come back and re-engage with other alumni. It's always good to see some familiar faces.
Right, and I'm being told in my notes that there's a newfound commitment to the Alumni Association.
Oh,
so what does that mean?
She's got to fill in.
That's great.
I love that.
He got stunned here.
I love that. But you
That's
could
good.
talk about the commitment and how this really is something that is really building momentum.
Yeah, I think we're just asking more from our alumni, right? Just to be more dedicated and give back to the university, whether it be their time or their talents or their treasures. So I think it's just having them more, I guess, dedicated to, you know, putting forth an effort, right? It's not a one time a year type of thing. We're going to do 5, 6, 7 different events, and we want them to be part of it. It's their event, right? It's for the alumni, so it's not for us, but obviously we're going to be there and enjoy it. But I think it's just more of a dedication, and we're looking for people that are more dedicated to give back to the university their time and just have some fun with the Alumni Association. It's always good.
Right. And can you have fun in the new alumni room?
Oh yeah, the alumni room.
What's that?
That's a work in progress right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we are.
It's really new.
It's going to be
so much so it's not done.
It'll be new shortly. How about that?
Okay, new shortly. But what will it be?
So it'll be a place where they can have their meetings and not have to be spread out all over the place. A conference room with some comfortable chairs.
Brand new coffee machine.
Oh, yeah, brand new coffee machine.
That's important.
You got to have that, right? So just a place where they can hang out and have actual good meetings and productive meetings. Some of our Alumni Association members have to Zoom in occasionally, so they'll have the opportunity to do that with some new technology in the room too. So it won't be, you got to pass the microphone or the computer down, right? So it'll be nice in the new building.
Scott, I feel like whenever I travel with you, we go see alumni, we could be in a stadium like we were 60,000 people, and somehow in that section, there's multiple people who know you always. How have you gotten to know so many alumni over the years?
Well, when you stick around long enough, you know a lot of people, right?
That's
so,
true.
you know, yeah, it's my 23rd year at the university, so I've seen a lot of people go through the doors, right?
The former athletic director, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, just, you know, I'm good with names with people, so I always knew all the students that were involved in recreation or fitness or club sports and then varsity sports. So a lot of touch points with students throughout the year, so and I still stay in contact with tons of them. And
it's got to feel good though because you know them.
Yeah,
and they really appreciate that you remember those little details.
Yeah. I always had a good time with the students. That's why I've been here as long as I have. I have a love for the students, and you know it's always great to see them. You know, you remember them as 18-year-olds coming in, not sure what they want to do, and now they're all doing great things in their career. It's awesome to see starting families, and you know I'd like to stay in touch with all those guys and gals, and yeah, it's just good to see familiar faces, and you know remember their names, and they remember me, so I should remember them, right?
You know, I would say also that, you know, athletics, as it continues to evolve here on campus, and we have more and more who are being more invested in it, that's how you really connect beyond graduation, is they have those memories and then they come back to the games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even this weekend we have got an alumni game for lacrosse, so a bunch of alumni guys are coming back, and then soccer game for the alumni.
Nice.
They're actually playing each other as alumni, so they're still in good shape. So
it's impressive.
So yeah, they do a lot of stuff to stay connected as teams, and then come back to the university. So it's great, and I'll make sure that I make my way out to lacrosse game and soccer game this weekend and say hi to those guys, and maybe we'll go to Shields afterwards.
Yeah.
Sure. And there's a golf outing coming up too, isn't there, Scott?
So unfortunately, the golf outing had to be canceled for men's soccer. They didn't have enough people to sign up. I mean, it was snowing out yesterday, so understandably, they're canceling the golf outing for the weekend. But they'll do another event. The soccer alumni are very, very involved they're a great bunch of guys.
Yeah.
On your Florida visit, you saw a lot of alumni, and why don't you tell us about some of the visits and who you saw? And
yeah, it was a really busy week in Florida. We got to hang out with a bunch of our Disney crew that were down there. So we got to see George Griswack and Alex Stanky, who's now Woodchick, and I'm drawing a blank here. Yeah, well, we had 3 and 1. They all worked as interns through the Disney program through LTU, and they all stayed down there. So Andrew Ulrich was the first one that started the internship program, and then Alexis Blackwell was the second one, I think, and then George, and then Alex Stanky, and yeah, so it's cool. And I got to see another hockey alumni, Dave Matthews, while I was down there, and his wife, and it's always good to reconnect with people down there. You see what they're doing, and they get back to Michigan occasionally, but they're in their home now, and they're starting families. Like George and Kelly have a little baby now, and
makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. I definitely feel older every year when you see that they have.
So I think we've got some great games going on in the corner.
Yeah. So Greek Life.
So what is this we're seeing here? The Animal House?
Yeah, it's a toilet paper mummy race that they do.
Okay.
So yeah, they have to see who can wrap up their brother or sister as quickly as possible and cover their whole body in toilet paper. Yeah, it's one of the. It's not as fun as the keg toss, but it's one of their events that they do. But they have a blast with it. I mean, Greek Day is an awesome event on campus, and something alumni come back to as well because they remember those days. Yeah, the tug of war is a real testosterone fest. Yeah. They love it. Between that and the keg toss, it's a pretty cool event. I mean, they do a toilet bowl race. They do mattress races. They're very. It's a very competitive day.
The tug of
it's
war. I remember the tug of war. That was pretty intense.
Yeah. The tug of war is always good. They used to do it over the river between the engineering building and the field.
Right.
Yeah, they used to drag each other in the river, but we've moved away from that.
Yeah. For sure. That's and we'll be discussing a fraternity later in the program.
Yeah, definitely. Scott, another question I wanted to ask you. Both, athletics, Greek life, it's a great leadership opportunity. What do you alums tell you about those experiences and how they help prepare them for their professional work?
The alumni who are now in the working field are always contacting me directly. Hey, I need to get 3 people here. Send a note out to the student athletes or the Greeks because they're leaders, right? Like they know teamwork, they know time commitments. They just always want to find someone that was similar to them, right, in the field. So they're doing good things in the field, and then they reach out and say, hey, I need more people, right? That's a common thing at Lawrence Tech. We need more employees, so give me some of the top and the best student athletes or Greek life members. I think that's one thing you commonly hear, and I'm always checking back with them. Hey, did you get someone? You need me to send out another email? So any way that we can help them in the career now. So,
Scott Trudeau, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, thanks for talking. And speaking of videos, one of the things we've got is a lot of videos during today's live stream. So we have got one that is all about the Alumni Association. So check it out.
Lawrence Tech is one of the best technical schools in the country. It is, in fact, a world-class university.
It's a powerful statement saying you're a Lawrence Tech alumni. Giving back really just shows how much you put into the university and how much the university put into you as well, and showing how appreciative you are.
Post-graduation at Lawrence Tech, there was a huge network of people that I could talk to for professional development. A lot of the interviews I had came from LTU alumni, and honestly, where I'm working at now at Ford, our alumni here at Lawrence Tech helped set me up with that interview.
For me, I had a lot of private scholarships from donors, and that was massive in my education. I'm forever grateful for that.
When I started here, thankfully on a scholarship, I had a very well-rounded education. Theory and practice really means something to me. A couple of years ago, I just realized I needed to be a better alumnus. Business was good, and I decided to donate some money. Next thing you know, they asked me, well, do you want to be on the Alumni Board of Directors? I said, sure. And I got elected, and here I am. The events that I've been to, and the students I've met, and the fellow alumni that I've met, it's just something I'm glad I did.
An event that I really enjoyed was actually the Alumni Tailgate that was put on by the Alumni Association. That was my first big event as being involved with the association, and it was so much fun for students, alumni, families.
Lawrence Tech was just really great experience. I found every way possible to try and stay as long as possible, and still here.
Oh, okay.
Well, welcome back, and we're going to take a little deviation here right now and talk about one of our centers. In particular, we're going to talk about our center that was set up for protecting our healthcare workers. And kind of personal story, the first time I ever really saw it live and in action, I had was transporting somebody to the hospital, a close friend, and they were having a mental health episode. And I'll never forget, we were checking in, going through the security, and the individual I was with just threw his keys as hard, like a fastball, at the security guard. And I was, obviously apologetic, and the security guard goes, Kevin, we're used to it. And that's not cool to hear. So
not cool.
I thought that would be a way to kind of introduce what you're trying to do, because we need our health workers healthy and safe.
We do.
We want them to take good care of us.
We do. We need them safe. And right now is a very challenging, trying time for our healthcare workers.
You gotta believe it. So tell us a little bit about the center, where it's at right now, and the impact it's having.
Sure. So the center was created to address that problem. Healthcare workers, this is like an epidemic rate. Healthcare workers are assaulted. 8 out of 10 nurses in the last year have said that they have experienced some form of violence at work. 6 out of 10 RNs have said that they're leaving the field due to violence. So this is really an epidemic, and the center was developed to address this problem, looking at it from a research perspective to try to identify ways to mitigate and what methodologies work, what types of things work in what types of environments and situations. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You have very large urban hospitals, you have very small rural hospitals. Some hospitals are really blessed to have security, like you mentioned. Some do not. And it doesn't change the risk factor, whether you have security or not. So we're looking at it from a research perspective. We're working with partner hospitals, and we really just want to try to keep our healthcare workers safe.
So is it like classes people can sign up for? Or is it like a company maybe ask you to come in and do some training?
So we're not doing training at this point, and it's not classes.
Okay.
It's really just working with our partner hospitals. And right now, we're doing the research. It's not the super sexy research, but it is the research that needs to be done.
Okay.
It's looking at the data. So right now what we're looking at is security incidents, and then we're looking at the patient records that were part of those incidents to try to see if there's a correlation that could have been a predictor. So is there any way that we can predict what types of behaviors might trigger an incident? So that's kind of what we're looking at. We're also looking at why is reporting so low. What is really sad about this whole situation is it's become part of the norm, part of the job, and it should never be part of the job. Can you think of any field where being abused is part of your job? No. None. And it's become just normalized. And unfortunately, reporting rates are really, really low. So we know through security events that they happen. The security events are there, but then we also know that the reporting doesn't happen through the staff. So trying to understand the reasons behind that. Is it too hard to report? Is it cumbersome? Are people afraid to report? What are all the reasons behind that? So we really want to understand how to increase reporting so that those reportings line up with those security reports, and then how to create those safer environments, how to make the staff feel safe about reporting. So that's really what we're looking at right now.
So I just got kind of out of curiosity with that lack of reporting. Like when someone, is it because maybe a supervisor hasn't supported them, or is it fear that they still have to deal with that patient still?
Well, we've done a lot of surveying, and what we found is all of it, all of the above. So they don't want to be looked at and asked, well, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that? So they don't want to be second guessed about what they've done. They also, reporting can be cumbersome. Some people don't know how to report. There could be backlash from the patient. This could be a repeat patient. Sometimes, with patient records and portals, the nurses' names are in those records, so they don't really want any backlash. So there's just a whole bunch of reasons why they don't report. And we need to try to reduce those barriers and ensure that they have safe environments to report in. Also, why report if really nothing's going to change? We've heard that a lot too. And we're seeing leadership in hospitals really take notice. And that's why we have partner hospitals that have come in, they've put money on the table and said, we want to work with you. Because they are taking notice. They want to keep their staff safe. They want to show their staff that they're serious about this.
And Stacy, personally having an opportunity to be at the board meeting for the Healthcare Violence Reduction Center, listening to the administrators really talk about the need and how this has just been, going on forever without any real solutions. Having Lawrence Tech connected to it and, with technological being our middle name, there is so much talent here that actually in the field of research, things that can be created to keep practitioners safe is really one of the ultimate goals here.
It is. And when you look at, if we can figure out what's happening and why it's happening, that's the next step. What can we create here at Lawrence Tech with all of the talent that we have to now mitigate and to stop? And that's really, we have projects right now with this one research. We have these spin-off projects. How do we use our canine units to be safer? So what can we do? What types of technology can we build into our canine units? We have wearables. What types of wearables can help make our team safer? So there's a lot of different things that Lawrence Tech can spin off of from just understanding the data. The data is the baseline. Once we know the data and we know how to capture that data, that's when the kind of the fun stuff can happen. That's when we can start to create. And that'll be the next layer.
So we're getting ready to wrap up, so I want to give you a chance. How could somebody watching this live stream right now, how could they help you?
So support healthcare workers, support our work. Today obviously is a day of giving, so you can go into the website today where all of this is happening. You can give now, and once you get on the Give Now portal, you can scroll down, and then there's a place where you can, there's a little drop-down menu, and you can choose the Healthcare Violence Reduction Center, and you can give to us. And then you can always find us on the Lawrence Tech website as well.
Thank you for this important
Stacy
work.
Frankovic, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you,
It's
guys.
been great. And yes, please support that. And just one of a few centers that we have here at Lawrence Technological University. All right. Well, since its founding in 1999 by LTU's Dr. C.J. Chung, Robofest has become a global celebration of autonomous robotics. The festival of competitions allows students from across the U.S. and over 30 countries to explore the principles of STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, while building essential skills like creativity, teamwork, and problem solving. So with 100% autonomous robots and challenges that encourage innovation, Robofest prepares the next generation for success in higher education and technological careers. Take a look at the excitement of Robofest. Well, all right, our 26th Robofest competition season is officially underway right now, and it's bigger than ever. This year, 21 countries and territories are hosting local events with 14 U.S. competitions across Michigan, Florida, and California. The World Championship will be held right here at LTU from May 15th through the 17th, featuring 250 teams and 800 participants. Plus, winning high school teams will earn incredible scholarships with $20,000 for first place, $16,000 for second, and $14,000 for third. The excitement is building, and the future of robotics is right here at Robofest. Thank you to Shannon Polonis, Chris Cartwright, Elmer Santos, everyone else involved with making Robofest a success. With that said, change is in the air here, Kevin, including some new digs for your team.
Yeah, we're moving on up, right? You know, we always knew when we were the current building we were in that could become more space. You heard Dr. Sobh talk about the growth in our health science programs and a community clinic. So we were temporary. So that's my excuse for why it's always messy in my office. But we're going to move to the Enterprise Center. It'll get my whole team together. But more importantly, we'll have some dedicated space for stuff that we do for our alumni, you know, whether it be an alumni association meeting. Our goal next year is to have career programs available for our alumni, like who are thinking of a career change, maybe just want to learn how to network better, you know, having those things to continue along the way, and probably some other topics as well. So we're excited about it. I think the other piece is, you know, in our work, it is so important communication. So, you know, if Rachel's making a connection with somebody, her and I need to talk about that and build on that. So our new space will be more collaborative for our team, and I think we'll be able to do a better job to serve the needs of our alumni.
Yeah, and actually serves two purposes in the fact that you now allow much needed space for the College of Health Sciences.
And that's the thing. You know, you hate being the thing that's in a way of somebody that needs it.
Yeah.
You know, and so every time I've walked by Steam Scott, I'm like, I know, I get it. It's like I can't make any argument.
Yeah.
And that's why I think when I moved there, when I moved my office, had to move over there, I just never got settled in before I would get too comfortable because we knew it was temporary. But it served our purpose, obviously.
Yeah. We're in the Blue Devil Cafe. There are some upgrades that are going to be happening here.
You know, people's dietary needs. It's like any restaurant. If you want some consistencies at a restaurant, like you want that one item on the menu you crave, but you want to see it continue to evolve.
Right.
College dining needs are very complicated. Like take our university right now. You got to have meals for student athletes. You got to have meals for students with very different allergies. We have a very diverse population in terms of international students, so different types of meats. You know, like today, you and I both went through it, and you know, myself over the last 4 months, I had to change my diet, and I'm on a vegetarian diet right now per my doctor, and I'm able to get a good quality meal here. And I look at it and go, wow, it is set up in a way where it serves so many people's different needs. However, we also got to look at other needs, and like some of the changes that are coming is speed. Yeah. And these students have only so much time to eat a meal, so they want to make it where they flow in, they flow out. Additional choices for them in their dining, and then also for the people who work here.
Right.
I think next year when we're doing this, you'll see us in a special room that they're setting up. Will be next year. Will be more retail here.
Okay.
So, you know, it was the first part of us becoming, or making, I should say, the first part of our commitment to becoming a residentially focused campus. And it just continues to evolve, which is great.
Right. And two more things, because we're running out of time here, but just briefly comment, future locker rooms. You mentioned athletes, and then also the student union.
Yeah. Well, for locker rooms, you know, where we're out at the, where we play football, lacrosse, and soccer, we've had temporary lockers for a while that are not nice.
Yeah,
They're not ideal. And yes, we are, you know, I always joke, you know, when our football team beat Madonna, it was a big night for us.
Yeah.
And our coach had to go to 4 different trailers to celebrate. Could you imagine Jim Harbaugh accepting that? No way.
Yeah.
And then student union, you know, behind us is kind of our quasi-student union, but it's really not.
It's really not.
And student unions now have so many different needs they serve to make students be successful. You know, it has to do with their learning, it has to do with the connection to their classmates, so we're working towards that as well. Probably, from what I'm hearing with Dr. Sobh and stuff, it might be something that we combine with a strategy with maybe housing or with this community clinic, but yeah, it's long overdue.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing start to Giving Day. A quick reminder, our goal is to inspire 250 alumni donors to step up and show their support for LTU today. Every gift matters. So if you haven't had the chance yet, please consider making your contribution now. And the excitement doesn't stop here. Remember to join us this evening for the Southfield celebration at Fuddruckers. That's going to be from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. Great food. First round of drinks are on us. Plenty of Blue Devil pride happening at that, so check it out. So far, we've heard some incredible stories. There's so much more to come. Don't miss the College of Engineering Hall of Fame ceremony at 3 p.m. We are going to honor the legacy of the great Ken Cook and celebrate excellence in engineering. And that's a magic trick, just so you know. Okay. Now, before we wrap this hour, let's check in with Rachel, because I think she wanted to give us maybe some updates on some donations. So she's going to make her way over here if she was caught off guard, and that's okay. That's
because she's
really
counting
okay.
so many donations.
Yeah, exactly. So she's just, exactly. She is counting so many donations. Look at that. Yeah. We're all set up and ready to go. Here she is.
Right.
Take it away.
So at the moment, we are at 88 donors and raised over $72,039. So there's still plenty of time to make a gift. So again, LTU.edu/Giving Day. Any gift of any amount will really make a difference for our students.
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. All right. So I think we're moving on.
Yep.
And again, thank you so much as we get closer here to ending the first hour of our LTU Giving Day celebration. And my name is Lauren Plant with the Affleck Productions. We do the marketing here for the university and are blessed to do it, and we're having a great time. And it's always an exciting day here on campus, especially talking about what's happening on campus and what will happen to come, which you just alluded to. I'm here with Kevin Finn, who is the Vice President of Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement. And again, as we wrap up the first hour, we've got some great numbers already, but of course we've got so much further to go and so much we'd love to raise, so much more we'd love to raise.
Definitely. I mean, very thankful for the donations we're receiving, but number one is there's so many students we need to serve, so we got to keep doing this. But secondly, we're off to a great start.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. So we're going to start to get into our College of Architecture and Design chat here. So let's take a moment to spotlight one of the most hands-on and transformative experiences that we have here at LTU, which is the annual Build Week in the College of Architecture and Design. And I think I'm being cued that we should not move into that yet. So and that's okay. Our floor director here, Pam, is saying, no, let's not go into that. We're going to wait a few minutes.
Oh, well, that's a good transition. Actually,
go ahead.
We have our one of our key supporters, a member of our Board of Trustees, John Donnelly. And John and Michelle have been very supportive this year of helping the College of Architecture out. So, which is interesting. We're going to learn about what impact they had and how people can help that impact grow. Because they're doing a very similar thing, like the FICAP scholarship we talked about earlier, where when somebody gives, somebody's going to match. They're going to match, and we have some exciting news to tell. We got some matches coming in today.
Okay. All right. Well, I understand that he is connected via technology, and let's bring him in now. Kevin.
Hey,
hi, John. How are you doing?
I'm
We're
good.
doing good.
I got my LTU hat on here.
Nice.
All right.
I'm ready.
So, John, a great day today. And, this time last year, we were getting ready for our first gala. And I remember talking to you and Michelle, and we offered you an opportunity to stay in the Affleck house. And now where that brings us to our conversation today. What I remember is the Saturday morning of the gala, you sent me a picture. And you were having a cup of coffee and looking out that beautiful view of the Affleck house. So tell us what Frank Lloyd Wright architecture means to you and Michelle to begin with.
So it's so inspiring and amazing to us that Lawrence Tech has as one of its crown jewels the Affleck house, a spectacular house built by the greatest, most creative architect who ever lived, Frank Lloyd Wright. And the thing is, a lot of people don't know about it because it's not on campus. It's in Southfield where it was built. But it's a spectacular house. It's a learning lab for the students in the College of Architecture and Design. It's a teaching lab for the professors. And another thing that's really, and it's beautiful, but a cool thing about it is Affleck House is an early and classic example of something that's really at the forefront of architecture today, affordable housing. It was built, Frank Lloyd Wright, late in his career in the 70s, got into building Usonian houses, he called them, which were affordable houses, not the early ones he built for a lot of rich industrialists and people. These were for the middle class, and that's what Affleck House is. So
That's excellent.
if I can keep gushing on, stop me when I'm talking too much. But
No, you're great. This is what
I
we
love
love.
the place. And it really reminds me, for people who are fans of Frank Lloyd Wright, of his masterpiece, Falling Water, which was built in Pennsylvania on literally sitting on top of a boulder, cantilevered out over a small waterfall and a stream. And people still, rave about Falling Water today.
Right.
But Falling Water was built for a rich department store owner in Pittsburgh. 4 years later, in 1940, a couple in Bloomfield Hills named Gregor and Elizabeth Affleck, hence it's called the Affleck House, called up Frank Lloyd Wright and said, could you build a house for us? But we're not rich. We're on a budget. And he built a house that's very much like Falling Water, but affordable to the middle class. It's on a ravine in Bloomfield Hills, just in a wooded ravine right off Woodward Avenue, right where the cars kind of drag race at night these days, as we all know. But in a wooded ravine with a pond, but with affordable, inexpensive materials. And it sits out over with a cantilevered balcony over the ravine, looking out on a pond, and it's just so creative and peaceful and beautiful. And it's ours if we maintain it forever as a crown jewel and a teaching tool of Lawrence Tech. So we were inspired by the beauty, and he didn't skimp, even though it's affordable. Wright didn't skimp on features. He has beautiful skylights that bring light into the house, even though it's in a wooded ravine. He has natural air conditioning. He built in the floor panels that open and close like the skylights that let in natural air conditioning as the breeze blows across the pond. It's just a spectacular place and a crown jewel. And here's the thing, Frank Lloyd Wright was famous for building flat-roofed houses, right? Leaky flat-roofed houses. And those may not be so bad if you build in Arizona, but in upper Midwest in Detroit in the winter, we got a lot of snow and a lot of rain coming.
This winter we did.
Really expensive to maintain. So this is, I'm going on too long, I'll stop in a second, but this is what got my wife Michelle and I so excited. If we could do something to help galvanize alums and supporters of Lawrence Tech and Affleck House to create a fund that would exist and be invested and create interest that would be sufficient to pay for repairs every 20, 25 years for replacing the roof and maintaining this crown jewel in perpetuity. Nothing could be more exciting than that. That's what Lawrence Tech has done. We've got to start. We've got some seed donations in the fund. But what we're doing
I want you to know,
is
you and Michelle have inspired people already today, John.
Fantastic.
We've got some donations. I think one of the more interesting one is Karen.
Well, you're coming to the match. Yeah, I should have mentioned the match first.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we got to get there.
No, you go ahead. I cut
one of the
off.
nice things you did for us, John, you and Michelle, is with your gift to help us restore and maintain the Affleck House. You said other people that gave a gift this year that you would match that to continue to increase that. And as you know, we have one of the persons whose mom and our grandmother lived there that made a donation. Our dean of architecture, Carl, made a donation today. Dr. Sobh did.
Fantastic.
Many people are starting to, so we really appreciate that. And beyond just the Affleck House, it has impact your gift to the College of Architecture in two other ways. Could you talk about that?
So we've got two other funds that LTU now has in place in addition to the Affleck House Maintenance Fund. One is a scholarship. It's a prestigious scholarship for an Affleck scholar who will be named every year, a graduate student in architecture and design. It's a merit-based scholarship. We have a lot of need for needs-based scholarships and merit-based both. This is a merit-based scholarship for a top graduate student, partial scholarship. It's been funded with It's a partial scholarship, so we would love to and need to get more. And if somebody gave, say, $1,000 or any amount today, or to that Affleck scholarship program, we would match it so you get double the bang for your buck.
We really appreciate
Similar
that.
thing for the third fund. There's also an Affleck Fellowship that's been created for a talented, dynamic, young architecture graduate, someone who has a master's or PhD, could be from Lawrence Tech, it could be from MIT or some other architecture school, coming to Lawrence Tech for a year as essentially an academic in residence, teaching as an adjunct, and it's a prestigious Affleck Fellowship. We think a lot of bright young architect grads and maybe future Lawrence Tech professors would be attracted to this and will come to the school and bring a lot of dynamic energy, teach classes, share their research and ideas with the students in the College of Architecture and Design. And that's been, there's a fund that's been created that Michelle and I provided the seed money for, and we want to add to it and provide both salary and a $2,000 annual stipend to this Affleck Fellow who's named each year. And same thing, matching gift. So if someone gave $100 today, if someone gave $10,000 today, it would be matched with twice that, and you get double the bang for your buck, going straight to the bottom line, straight to the young Affleck Fellow who we're bringing into the LTU
Well, John,
teaching and
we're getting near the end of this segment. But number one, we thank you and Michelle for your incredible gift. And, we've been talking about our gala today that's coming up. And I just got to personally thank you. You gave us such a great keynote last year and really got us in a good setup, and no pressure on this year's keynote. I don't know how he's going to surpass what you did last year.
Well, thank you, Kevin. That's very kind. If I just make a brief comment on that. I mean, I've grown up with Lawrence Tech since I was a little kid, because Lawrence Tech saved my dad in 1939 with a scholarship, which I talked about at the gala. He grew up in Detroit, but his family had to move back literally to the family log cabin on a poor farm on 29 Mile Road in the Depression. When my grandfather lost his job, they lost their home. They were evicted from their home on Richton Street in Detroit in Highland Park and moved back living in a log cabin. And he applied to 200 colleges because he was a bright student, didn't get any, only got 2 return letters and only got 1 full scholarship in 1939 from Lawrence Tech. And that changed his life, changed our lives, and we're forever, dedicated.
And the great thing is, your dad continues to change lives here too.
Yeah. Well, it's great to hear.
Yeah. John, I will see you soon. Have a great day. Say hi to Michelle for me.
Good luck. Go Blue Devils.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I definitely second what you said there. It's going to be tough on a keynote replace what happened last year, and that's one of the amazing things that comes out of the gala. Well, we are going to focus a little bit on the College of Arts and Sciences, and really kind of a special recognition of a colleague of the gentleman that we have joining us. Scott Schneider is joining us. Kevin, tell us.
Yeah. So, Dr. Schneider, last year, when I, as you know, I was new to this role, and I was traveling, meeting alums. They kept bringing up a different professor's name, Dr. Dick Lundstrom.
Me.
Oh no, you come up. Oh yes, no. That's standard.
That's every day. Come on.
And we were able to bring Dr. Lundstrom out to the event last year, and we saw what he meant to alumni, and we're going to continue that. People who from the past have made a great impact. This year it's Dr. Jerry Chris.
Right.
And you might not know this. He hired me.
Well, he hired me too.
So
oh yeah.
We got something really great. Now we know why we always get along.
Exactly.
This
right.
seems rigged.
Right.
But in the case of Jerry, and why we bring it up today, a lot of times our alumni remember what an individual like that did for them, and that inspires them to want to help others. Why don't you tell us what you knew about Dr. Chris and how you would describe him?
So first, as we said, he hired me, and I think at the time I was coming right out of grad school, and I think he saw a potential in me that I don't think I saw in myself at the time. I love physics, I love teaching, but to say, oh yeah, you're going to be a professor 30 plus years from now, from that moment, there's no way I would have guessed that. He guessed it. And so he put his faith in me and mentored me in the beginning. But I saw the work that he was doing. I mean, as a role model for a professor, as a role model for a faculty member, even as a role model as a department chair, it was amazing, an experience to be able to spend some time with him. And I know what he was doing with the scholarship group. I mean, he was running that almost single-handedly in terms of as the head of the scholarship. We've got teams of people now that have to do it. Now we've expanded since then. But it was amazing the people that you'd run into, that I ran into as a new faculty member, that would say, oh, Dr. Chris, Dr. Chris, Dr. Chris. Everybody knew him. And he set a high bar for a faculty member, because I mentioned to him one time he would take me out for lunches occasionally just as a mentoring in that first year. And I mentioned sometime, oh, so you got a big chemistry section. We had 70 people in the chemistry section back then. I said, you just gave a test. You have a class tomorrow, but then later on in the week. When do you give the test back? Oh, tomorrow. I said, wait a minute, you just gave it today. Oh, yeah, tomorrow. I haven't quite lived up to that with my grading, but I've tried. I've tried to aspire, because what an influence he had, and what a role model he set.
When you think about one of the things that why we have this award and we like to honor, it's how they treat students. Right. And can you think of some times when Jerry maybe gave you advice of how to serve a student in a certain situation?
I think it was basically, you don't know what the student's coming with. There may be other problems they've got at home. We've got more complicated situations now than I think we had back then. But he said, I just try and assume that the student, whatever the problem is, it's something they're trying to deal with. And so I'm going to try and give them some leeway if I can. I have to hold some standards, but try and work with the student as much as you can. And he had office hours. You had students lining up outside the door for office hours. He was always available for students. Scholarship students had all kinds of financial situations, and he would calmly sit down with them and work through all the details. And the knowledge that he kept just in his head, I mean, he had great paperwork, but the knowledge in his head of who students were and names and situations, and be able to just instantly jump right back into that situation and then talk with a student. It's impressive. It's something that I try and aspire to, but my memory's not nearly as good, even back then, as his was. So.
It's funny, but I have this feeling one day we'll be doing the same thing for you, because I've seen what you have done with students.
I do appreciate that. I mean, But Hawking said he stood on the shoulders, or Newton said he stood on the shoulders of giants to be able to do what he was able to do. I have had so much help in my past in terms of mentoring and role models and faculty and students. I mean, the whole reason I'm here, the whole reason I'm motivated to be in the classroom is I learn every single day from the students. I get a new question. Oh, that's an interesting way to do that. I'm going to put that in my. If the students could come back the next semester to see the changes that they helped create from the previous semester, they'd be astonished to say, oh my gosh, I said that in class, and now he's put it in the lecture. So it's just inspiring. And so I am a product of all the people that have come before me. So
one of the things with Jerry Chris that we're able to do is people do give in his honor for scholarship. Maybe if you could talk a little bit how you see in the classroom the strong impact that giving scholarship has on our students and what they need.
We've got students here that wouldn't be able to come otherwise. And so there's certain scholarships that, because I did advising for a long period of time, and I was advising with the undeclared majors. And so they've got, I'm not exactly sure what major I've got, and I've got this financial situation, and I can't quite make this payment, and how do I get registered and everything. So I could see all that information. I mean, I could see that they had some of these serious situations. And the scholarships that were in there that they could eventually apply for, and our scholarship team all the way along has been great at trying to help out with these students. We'd have students here that are brilliant students that would not be here if it weren't for some of the scholarship stuff.
Yeah, amazing. And can I just say that Scott Snyder, you look marvelous. Yes. You really do.
It's the right time for that.
It's the right time.
My donor tie on, so
yeah.
Right.
And so
Can we catch that?
Yeah, I wish. That would be great.
How many ties do you have?
I have enough ties for every single school day of the year. I can wear a unique tie.
Wow.
Now that gets into the lesser ties, so I usually rotate every semester.
Okay.
But I've got a tie for all the sports. I've got a tie for. I try and be tie appropriate. So if this is a giving day, I wanted my money tie.
There you go.
On.
We love it.
So,
That's
right.
right. It's a money tree. Appreciate it.
I started with one tie when I met with Jerry Chris for the first interview. And then I got a second interview, and my first thought was, oh, excellent. My second thought was, oh, I probably should get another tie because Jerry would recognize the first tie, and so what's this guy only wear one tie? I basically only had one suit, so I said I got to get another tie, and that started my tie collection.
That's awesome. Well, can't thank you enough. You know, like you, Dr. Chris had a tremendous impact. I want to be talking to you with from, but
amazing.
I just want you to know we thank you from our hearts too, because we do have people ask us how you're doing.
I do appreciate it, and I'm doing fine. I was fortunate enough to have a kidney transplant, and people are very caring, and people are very supportive, and my blood labs are wonderfully, boringly stable. So can't ask for anything more than that. Exactly. Right.
Scott, thank you.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate Scott Snyder being here. Talk a little bit about Dr. Chris. All right. Up next, we are thrilled to spotlight the incredible achievements happening in LTU's College of Health Sciences. That's right. Leading this charge is someone whose vision and dedication have been instrumental in shaping the future of health education here at Lawrence Tech. So join us in welcoming the founding dean of the College of Health Sciences, Dr. Mary Scutton, to share all the exciting things happening in this dynamic and impactful college. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for joining us.
It's really great to be here. I also want to thank our LTU community for all the support you've given to us as we're getting this college started, and as well as what you're doing today. We really appreciate it.
Actually, the first donation we received was towards the College of Health Sciences.
Fantastic.
It's excellent fun. So
that's really great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So an important donation, Mike Shihadi, is that how you pronounce it?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You wanted to talk about that. So.
Yeah, so we are working towards the goal of helping to get you some of the anatomatage tables. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes. Oh, I happen to bring.
I hope I said that right.
Here it is.
I brought a visual effect. So this is a 7-foot table that contains a scanned 3-dimensional cadaver in it, and it's very, very high tech. You're able to see every system under the sun. You're able to do comparisons, make simulations.
There you go.
And there is. Pictures, so. Oh, we even brought great pictures along.
There you go.
So in looking to get these, this would help us supplement for some of the things we do. It's awfully hard to get cadavers and to keep those in place. So this would help us in our simulation and virtual reality. And we just have purchased all the equipment we need to set up our 6 virtual reality stations for nursing simulation as well. So we're very excited to be involved in that tech space.
Yeah, and I know there's some new technologies emerging in the PA program.
Yes, there are. We've been doing some of these things, and PA is also looking at this and drooling at this particular technology. It would really help us across all of our programs, including across campus, because this would be these tables would be super useful with anatomy and physiology courses. So we would be partnering across, like LTU does, working across the whole campus to make stuff happen for our folks. And yes, you're seeing some of the technology, I think, on the screen right now, where you can see some of the simulation that we have with the mannequins. We have a classatory in PA, which has some materials in it as well. And we just really want to build that out and expand on that technology so that we are truly the technology-savvy healthcare workers of the future. And just today, we are happy to say, and you'll see it on the website for Health Sciences, we're a member of the Health Information Management Society, which is a national organization. It's an organizational affiliation that we have. And also because informatics and the information that we're doing is so important, and using that technology in healthcare is the only way we're going to be improving those things.
So you're finishing up your first year here at Lawrence Tech.
I am. Yeah. I will be in my first year in a couple months. So yes, so it's been an adventure.
So what are some of the goals in the next year with the college?
All right. Well, there are a couple of goals. I mean, there are some things we certainly want to build out some of our simulation equipment. To get a little bit more technology involved, and certainly the anatomage tables. And we're so grateful for that initial donation by Mike Shihadi for that. That is just fantastic for us. So in addition to doing that, we're also looking, and this came out of a collaboration with the Dean of Students and also our athletics director. We're looking to scale up an on-campus health clinic and get those things in place. We're talking with several healthcare providers across the area, and there's been good interest in helping us do this. Once we get the facility, then we'd be looking to do this. And this would also help us with our PA and our nursing programs, but then also with our new allied health sciences degree that's going, because we're going to need scribers for data. We're going to need information and folks that are trained on billing, and we need nurse practitioners, and there's just a whole raft of people that we would need in order to make this a great facility.
All right. Yeah. How are the PA and the nursing grads faring out there?
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
We have graduated several cohorts in nursing program because it's been in existence a bit longer. This year, that's a 92% pass rate and a 100% employment rate, so we're excited about that.
Yes.
And then for PA last year, there's a couple of the students are still looking to take that exam, but we're in the mid-80s, which is meeting the expectations so far, and they also getting employed. And certainly we'd want a couple of those PAs to come and work in that health center if we ever get that in place.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great goal to get accomplished.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about how the cafeteria had to do over a residential campus, but a good residential campus has to have health services for its students.
Yeah. No question about it.
We don't want them to have to leave campus in order to get the kind of care that they need, and we think we can provide it. But it takes a group of people in order to make that happen. So we're very excited about it, and that's one of the goals that we have. Certainly, we'll probably look to add a couple more degrees. In addition, we'll talk about our new Doctor of Health Sciences degree, which is a completely online program. It's a great doctorate for anyone, insurance, any kind of piece of healthcare that you can think of. It's a great degree for them to take. It's a research degree. We have lined up some fabulous faculty to be teaching in this, and we look forward to helping you get your terminal degree, which will move you forward in your businesses.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right. We're about 30 seconds away from wrapping this up, but one of the things out there, one of the programs obviously that we continue to want to bolster is our nursing program here, and obviously lots of choices for students today to join a nursing program, but I'd be remiss without giving you the opportunity to talk about why our nursing program is special.
Yes, it is special for a number of reasons. One of it is that we're based on this patient-focused, relationship-based care model, which is filled with looking at the person and the patient and uplifting them and creating a safe and confident environment for any patient that we have. That's one of the reasons it's special. The other reason it's special is we have absolutely wonderful faculty who are working for us. And I think the third thing, which is newer for us, this is only our second year, is nursing students who come to LTU have two things going for them. One, it's super athletics friendly because we have such a great partnership with Henry Ford Providence that we're able to compete all 4 years, which is rare across the United States. And then secondly, the other piece of this is they're eligible for the STEM scholarship. And thank you for all you who have given to that. That's a big scholarship and a big movement going forward. We're out trying to welcome more students. We have room for more. Come and join us. It's a fabulous opportunity.
Absolutely.
We might need you to stay all day because first donation happened from right? And we just got our 100th donor during your time here. So thank you.
There we go. All right.
You're definitely good luck for us.
All right. Well, thank you all. We don't have much in the way of alumni, but we have support, and we feel that support, and we're really grateful to be here.
We'd like to do shout outs during this. One of your alumni, Axie Vang, did make a donation today. So, it's going to come together.
All right.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
The Dean of the College of Health Sciences, Dr. Scutton, thank you so much for being
you.
here. We appreciate it so much. Now, one of the most meaningful traditions in the field of nursing is the pinning ceremony. That's right, a symbolic celebration that marks a transition from student to professional nurse. It's a proud moment where graduates receive their nursing pins, signifying their dedication to the profession and the care that they'll provide to patients. At LTU, the College of Health Sciences holds this ceremony with great pride, celebrating the hard work, commitment, and compassion of our nursing graduates. So let's take a look at highlights of this year's nursing pinning ceremony and join in honoring these remarkable future healthcare heroes.
Welcome, nursing graduates.
Just recently, we had our awards and pinning ceremony. We graduated our 4th cohort. So we started our program in 2016, so our 4th cohort graduated. And the tradition of pinning has been around for centuries. And it was actually a rite of passage from their undergraduate education, and it culminates in that pinning from one registered nurse to another registered nurse.
This pinning ceremony was very special to me today. It was a foundation of all of the hard work and achievements that we have accomplished here. It's going to be very special to me. It's going to show me that all of that hard work that I put in throughout my time in this program has been paid off.
This pinning ceremony is awesome. It's quite a long tradition within nursing, and to be able to pick a pinner of someone that's inspired you along your nursing journey, come give you that honor is really special. And then to be able to have a celebration with just our cohort is really, really awesome. This nursing program was awesome. It's one of the reasons I chose this program was so that I could be able to play basketball and do both. Basketball is a very demanding schedule. It's a lot of months out of the year, and then our nursing program was just great at being flexible. Worked with the professors all the time, had to move around clinicals, but I always had the professor's support and the support of my classmates to make it work, so it was awesome.
It's absolutely special to have a beautiful event like this to celebrate all of our hard work that we've been putting in over the years, and to celebrate it alongside our family, friends, colleagues. It's very, very special. Absolutely, a lot of hard work went into being here today and graduating nursing school. It's like learning a whole new language, and it's more than just in the class. We put in a lot of work and a lot of time throughout clinicals, learning how to properly take care of patients, and happy to say we made it.
Congratulations to my fellow graduates. Let's dive into the field of nursing with pride, integrity, and compassion, guided by the legacy of the legend Flo Nightingale, and let us make a meaningful difference in the lives of the patients and families we serve. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going off script.
Yes.
I know we're live and we're doing it, and for good reason. Kevin.
You know, exactly, Lauren. One of the things when we do this live stream, people don't realize, come and visit. We'd love to see you. Dave, you stopped by? How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
And we were talking earlier about serving. We just want to say thank you. I know you're giving us a check. What is that going towards today?
So, two of my fraternity brothers, John Samet and Pete Barclay, they have a challenge to my fraternity brothers to basically make a donation to Lawrence Technological University in honor of the Phi Kappa Upsilon fraternity. And so I'm delivering this check today. My two fraternity brothers are matching those funds.
Nice.
And so it's basically this donation is tripled today. So thank you very much.
Dave, we just feel not only be rude, but always love seeing you, and I look forward to your golf outing again this year.
The golf outing is great, and I'm looking forward to the gala that's taking place in May, and that's going to be a great time, so hopefully I'll see a bunch of you down there.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Have a great day, man.
You have a good one. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we roll here, and thank you so much, sir. All right, let's take a moment to spotlight. All right, let's transition to the College of Architecture and Design, shall we? Take a moment and spotlight one of the most hands-on and transformative experiences at LTU, which is the annual Build Week in the College of Architecture and Design. During Build Week, students leap out of the classroom into the real world, collaborating on innovative projects that bring ideas to life. It's a week of creativity, problem solving, and teamwork that reflects the essence of Lawrence Tech's motto, theory and practice. So let's take a look at what our students and faculty achieved during last year's Build Week.
Build Week for the students is putting the actual theory into practice. This is one of the most unique classes that the university offers because it's real life practice, but the other side of the industry that a lot of architects don't get the chance to really immerse themselves in, which is seeing the design come to fruition. This is the opportunity where students get the chance to be hands-on and realize their own designs, which in turn realizes the challenges that building their designs comes with.
The experience from this past week was really something that somebody has to really go through to understand what it is to really design something. As you do from your first year up until near the end of your school, you're kind of looking at the computer screen and doing theoretical designs, and once you get to actually do it in person, you kind of see how the whole process kind of unveils itself and how the actual construction process differs sometimes from just the intended design that you see in the models.
Our project was a mock-up, so a smaller version of an entire pavilion that we proposed to build in between the President and Alumni House here on campus. The progress was good. We had a great team. We'd all communicated really, really well. As with anything, there were some hiccups along the way, and there was one day where people got maybe a little frustrated. That's with any project. For the most part, there was actually a lot less frustration than I think a lot of us thought there was going to be. We figured out that small groups, small problems, figuring things out in smaller teams worked really, really well for us, and yeah, we got it up.
Our project was a combination of two different concepts, box beams for the major structural components, topped with a more organic, triangulated roof structure. Watching this project come together and see the final end result was a very special moment. We had so many people putting in so much time throughout the semester. To watch it all come together this week was a really special, and it's something that I'll never forget.
Our project, the Rebar Pavilion, dedicated to former Dean of the College, Pellerin. It's a place where students can gather in the shade and protection from the elements and test out two unusual building materials, rebar as the structural material and then shrink wrap as the cladding, in a way that hadn't been done before. We feel like we got some really good, successful results with it.
Just seeing how designs have evolved over the course of this 10-week semester and then actually getting to see it built was incredible. It's not something that we normally get to see, especially while in school. So very cool seeing everything come together in the end.
We were really blessed to have some incredibly intelligent individuals join us from Kentucky, from Detroit, who have their own practices, who have worked in some of the biggest architecture firms that we know of. And the way that we organized the panel today was we actually presented inside. And we looked through the digital collateral, starting with day one, looking at how they looked at precedents and to how they took those precedents and kind of merged them, morphed them into projects that then became digital models that ultimately became physical models. And then after we did that presentation inside, we then walked out and looked at the physical model, the actual full-scale representation of the work they've done all semester, and it tied it all together. To just be able to see the process and then actually see the object is really a rewarding experience for everyone involved.
This week has been amazing. Just the opportunity to get people from all over the country, even internationally, together. People we've seen for weeks, even years, to get together, to collaborate, to make something that we never even thought was possible. It's been an exceptional experience and one that I'm going to hold dear and take with me as I go into construction and into design for my career.
Okay, so joining us now to talk about the incredible event you just saw is Carl Dobman. He is the Dean of the College of Architecture and Design. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right. It is good to be here. So Build Week is that unique opportunity for students to immerse themselves into these hands-on projects. How does this experience complement the traditional classroom learning in co-ed, and why it is so vital to the educational journey they get at LTU?
Those are good questions.
Deep.
Nicely done. Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing for us is that, like, in a traditional sense, whether it's traditional architecture sense or even in the classroom, it tends to be, we talk about theory and practice a lot. It tends to be that architects design things, but they don't often build those things. Mm-hmm. And so what's nice with that project is that the students actually understand the logistics that go into how to build something. They understand the labor that it takes to do that, and they manage the entire process.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Build Week often brings together students from different years and disciplines. Am I correct, or is it just a graduate?
Not anymore. It's the
Okay.
first graduate. So it brings together graduate students in architecture that are kind of different. They come in different ways.
Right.
So they all come together at that point, but they do come from all over the country,
Right.
sometimes all over the world.
Yeah, so they're forced into this collaborative environment.
We don't say forced.
Oh,
but
sorry.
yes.
Okay. All right, I got you. This truly enhances creativity, preparing students for the interdisciplinary nature of this practice.
Absolutely. And a big part of it is we talk about leadership. We talk about how you organize a complex team. And so last year we had 75 students designing and building 3 different projects all in that week. And what's amazing is the semester's 10 weeks long. They start all over, geographically dispersed, but then they work together online and they come together and they actually build these things for 1 week.
Yeah.
And so that's an amazing
Yes.
moment when they come to campus for 1 week.
That's it. You got to get it done. We mentioned this while we were watching the video. I'd like you to bring it up, talking about impactful projects for Build Week and what you guys plan on doing this year and really contributing to the broader community.
Yeah, I think there's always been an aspect of that in that we, last year, we looked at a project that would happen on campus. We've done 2 projects for the city of Southfield that were public art projects. This year we're looking at working with a community in Detroit and doing a pavilion for them. So it'll be built on campus during the week, but then it'll get moved to their site in Detroit. And so it's nice to be able to design something and build something and then also have it kind of mean something once we do that.
Right. One of the most exciting events in the College of Architecture and Design at LTU is Show LTU. And this annual showcase is really a celebration of students' creativity, their innovation, their hard work, offering this platform for them to present their designs, projects, and ideas to the broader community in some cases, and
Yes.
who you invite to judge. It's not just a display, a chance for students to get feedback, network with professionals, reflect on their growth. Show LTU embodies the real collaborative and forward-thinking spirit of the College of Architecture and Design, and I think you'd agree.
Yeah, I think it encapsulates a lot of what we do because that, like what you described, those moments when students present their work and they get outside feedback, that happens in our final reviews.
Yeah.
And it was a few years ago when the president suggested that we have a kind of award ceremony or some way to kind of culminate all of these things. And so it tends to be the graduating students, and we have a lot of industry people that come as part of that event, family, alumni, and other people. So there is some judging, there are awards that happen, and it's just amazing to exhibit the student work.
Yeah. It's pressure, but in a good way, for sure.
Right.
What would you say is the core purpose of the showcase, and how does it benefit students as they prepare for their careers in architecture and design?
I think there's very few things that we do that only have one purpose, right? We make everything count in a lot of ways. So it's a way for the students to showcase their work and have connections with industry, but it's also a way to bring alumni back to campus and to get people involved. And so it's both a kind of internal and external kind of effort that occurs with that.
Yeah, and maybe you could talk a little bit more about how it's bridging the gap between academia and industry. How does Show LTU really foster those connections? Because I think it's important they understand for students, alumni, and industry professionals, this is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. We bring a lot of people to campus. I think when I meet with some alumni, I often ask when's the last time they were on campus, and sometimes it's been a while. Yeah. People are busy. They don't often come back, and so it's a moment to be able to re-engage them. But like you're also suggesting, through industry connection and sponsored projects, we run programs and we run classes that couple with things that are happening in industry, whether it's the automotive industry, whether it's the architecture, interiors, game, graphic, all of them. And so that's a way that students not only have a connection to those things, but they learn in the classroom, and the classroom experience is informed by what happens in practice.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to put you on the spot here, okay?
I think I was already on the spot.
Yeah.
Right?
But and whether you have one example or you want to give several, it's up to you as we kind of wrap up our time here. But you've seen countless students present their work at Show LTU. Can you share an example of how participating in this event, in your eyes, has truly been transformative to a student?
Yeah, I mean, one example, students are always nervous about those presentations, and so it's incredible to watch a student maybe in their first couple years where you see those nerves, but then as they get later in the program, the ability to be able to present, but also start to have a dialogue with those critics, and that notion of a kind of just, I'm just presenting, really changes. And those are the students that then have more meaningful conversations. This is a networking opportunity, and it does so much more for them.
Yeah.
So it's great to see them kind of transition or transform across that process.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your insights. We appreciate it. We know that it's not just a showcase for talent, but a catalyst for professional growth and innovation. So, Carl Dobman, the Dean of the College of Architecture and Design here at Lawrence Tech, we appreciate you being here and joining us. All right. Great conversation. And we're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute. So don't go anywhere.
It's Lawrence Tech Giving Day.
Hi, welcome back. We're having a great Giving Day here today. We're going to take a little bit of a turn here. We've been talking a lot of academics, but just as important to academics at a university is student life. A lot of leadership opportunities for the students to connect with their classmates. Are we on, guys? Okay, so with that, let's start with you, Jose. And you started a tradition a few years ago on campus, and it seems to just get bigger and bigger every year. Tell our alumni about it.
About LTUX?
Yes.
So LTUX is an event we do every year. It's both kind of a convention. We have like vendors, like dealers then, and artists on campus. But we also have like a student showcase and an arcade as well in the architecture building. So it's not just an event for people to come in and like discover the university and have fun, but it's also an opportunity for our game students to show the work they've been doing for the last 2 semesters, sometimes even a year. So it's a good opportunity for both just having fun and also like showcasing work and meeting our students and meeting people outside of school and having them play their games and, you know, tell them what's wrong with them.
So who attends it?
Sorry?
Who are the attendees? Like, who attends this event?
So the event is open to anyone outside of campus and inside campus, so students can come, people from outside campus can come, families can come, anyone. It's entirely free. Only thing that, you know, have to pay for like merchandise and the food trucks that we have as well.
Excellent.
But attendance is entirely free. You can.
How many people attend usually?
Last couple of years we had about 200 people, more or less,
Wow,
300 people.
Nice. Tell us a little bit more what goes on at the actual event.
So yeah, I mean it's this year it's going to be on May 3rd from noon to 8. The showcase closes at 5, so our students have time to like, you know, go on and like, you know, look around and stuff. But yeah, the activities have been, you know, change every year. This year we just have our usual arcade. We have a Smash tournament run by our esports department. We have the food trucks. We have a Venezuelan food, bubble tea, and sushi this year. We have our student showcase as usual. That's also open to people outside of our student body. So we have people from studios in the local area showcasing their work there as well. We have the arcade that, you know, you probably saw on the screen right now. It's run by SigEp. SigEp is a company owned by LTU Alumni, actually.
Okay.
And they are one of our sponsors. So they come in, they bring a truck full of arcades, and they unload it, and people can come in and play them all day long. And yeah, we have like the artists as well. People can, you know, buy art, buy merch, that sort of stuff, you know. And
Excellent.
We also have a cosplay contest this year and last year. It's open to anyone, and there's prizes for first and second place. And it's a lot of fun.
Excellent. Well, we're going to next move to you, Kim. We have Kim Jordan, who is our Dean of Students now, correct?
Correct, internally.
Hey.
We're giving it a go.
Kim, you were a large part of helping our campus develop a very residential focus. Why don't you tell our alumni what residential life is like now on campus and the importance of it?
I think the important thing about residence life is it gives the students a home away from home. We really do care about the students. You know, it's a huge transition from high school to college. So our first year building, which we have solely dedicated to that East Hall, is important because we help them gain those adult skills. And as we go on throughout Royce, South, Donley, those transitions happen naturally for our students. And our housing staff does a great job helping them make those leaps. So by the time you get to Donley as a senior, you're on your way out. So we're doing programs with career services to help, you know, resume critiques, help them find jobs. So it's learning that happens outside of the classroom that is really important. So I think that's the biggest takeaway of why housing is important on our campus.
We talk a lot about like Greek life and the leadership opportunities there as well, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute, but also like athletics. But I think one of the other ones is something you have that you offer to students in terms of employment and housing, being a residential leader. Can you talk a little bit about that, what experiences somebody gets?
Yeah, so we currently have 46 resident assistants that we employ, including about 20 desk receptionists as well, all student-led. The whole point is to get them those job skills so that when they're leaving, you know, they know how to have a job. They know how important it is to show up on time to a meeting, helping a resident, and just gaining those employment skills. So we work a lot with them on leadership skills. And a lot of the tools that they use as an RA, they might think they might not in their job, but so much of it is just critical thinking skills, and you need that in any job. And so we really work with them on carrying that out, whether you were an RA for 1 year or 3 or 4 years. So they are able to leave with skills that they're going to use for the rest of their life. Because once you're an RA, I was an RA, you never stop being an RA. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. You always have your eyes out, you and Mark, because I know
Yes.
Mark's background's that too. You oversee our career services now too, and is career services still something that's available to our alumni?
Yes, any alum.
Ooh, I'm glad I got that one right.
Whether it's you just took one class here at Lawrence Tech, you are able to come to our career services office, whether it's, hey, I'm currently laid off and I need to brush up my resume, or hey, I'm thinking about making this career transition. How can you help me? They're definitely there. We had our last call job fair last week. We had alum come out, and it's so important. And I think one of the things we're looking at as expanding in regards to our career fairs is working with local other schools that, we had a student took it upon himself. He's a current student. He's from the Grand Rapids area. He reached out to Grand Valley and was like, hey, can I attend your job fair because this is where I'm from? So we're exploring that option as well. So we want to expand working with other schools. Excellent. Because our students aren't just from Metro Detroit.
We used to, originally when I started here, we used to partner with Michigan Tech because of the students up there and come back. But all right, now we're going to transition to Greek life, and we'll go to you, Marissa. We saw something going on here with Greek life behind us. Students were being wrapped in sanitary paper. What was going on?
It's one of our Greek Week events, so we have events every single day this week leading up to Greek Day, which is on Saturday. It's just different events that they do. They've been doing it for years now. It's such a tradition for them. So today was toilet paper race, so they just unwrap themselves really quickly. Yesterday we had egg toss. Tomorrow we have pudding drops. So it's just a bunch of random but fun activities for them to do to earn points for Greek Day and to get that Greek Day trophy.
When I'm looking at our list of donors today, alumni have given, the most predominant thing I can see is 40% of them, I'm going to guess, were involved in Greek life. That's what you were in Greek life.
Yeah, I was.
So tell us a little bit about your Greek life experience.
I enjoyed it a lot. I was in Delta Phi Epsilon, and I was also a sweetheart of Alpha Sigma Phi. And genuinely, it was one of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever had on campus. I just gained so many interpersonal skills and stuff, and just learned how to work with other people. And I was president of my sorority at one point, and I just created so many connections. If you look back at freshman year MAR and me today, I wouldn't be where I am without the organizations that I was a part of. And it just really made a big difference in my life to join Greek life. And I know they would say the same thing too with the actives and everything. So
it's I'll tell you, when we meet and travel for our alumni, my last alum myself, Steve Shapiro in Tampa, he was a member of Phi Kappa Epsilon in the early 80s, and you still, the memories, how they reconnect, it's just something very beautiful, genuine. Song and skit, I assume, is this week. Does that still happen?
Yeah, it's on Friday at 8 p.m. in S100. So.
And a lot of alumni still come back for that, I think.
Some of them, we're trying to get more people to come out, so working with the chapters and stuff.
Yeah, COVID kind of interrupted that for a little bit.
But I still see a lot of the more recent alumni will come out to those, so we're trying to get the older ones that were my level and everything to come back and everything, but they still come out and they still come support. Even on Greek Day, they come out and support. You'll see them during recruitment and as well, and just coming to just help their current active chapters and everything too. So
have you prepared Kim that the Dean of Students is the brunt of a lot of their jokes?
Actually, this
I'm
year,
an awesome Dean of Students. I don't think I'll get one.
Okay, it was just when I was. I got it. All right.
I would say this year there's not very many jokes about faculty or administration.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's about campus and each other and stuff. So.
Well, hey, to all of you, Jose, I remember when you started the program. I didn't really understand it. I came up that weekend, and there was just a lot of people enjoying campus. Kim, Mar, I can tell you, when we meet with our alumni, they're always reflecting back on the experiences they had outside of the classroom as much as in the classroom. So thank you for keeping our jobs easy, and all of you, thank you for being just great people at Lawrence Tech. Have a good day. Next, we're going to watch a video. Earlier, we referenced people in career services. One of our fraternities, the SigEp fraternity, does a lot to help our students on campus and also gives their time. So I think of this earlier this year, we had our etiquette dinner, and Austin Chapman came to that dinner, former SigEp, and just get a great speech. So let's learn a little bit more about the SigEp fraternity today. SigEps are our largest fraternity on campus. Each year they do this Balanced Man Scholarship Luncheon that we're attending today. Not only are they very involved in campus, but they also take time to raise money to give back to future students. They're great leaders. We appreciate their efforts.
Welcome to the Balanced Man Scholarship Banquet.
The Balanced Man Scholarship started in 1994 here on Lawrence Tech's campus.
We celebrate the hard works and efforts of incoming male freshmen. We look for the incoming leaders. I was a recipient in 2016, and it was honestly a great experience.
When I was a student,
Even just a few $100s for books was extremely helpful. They interview hundreds of gentlemen across the state and sometimes out of the state to help award this.
Over the past 30 years, we have awarded $100,000 just for this scholarship. Each of the finalists is awarded at least $1,000. The top 3 finalists are awarded $2,500, $1,750, and $1,250 in scholarship checks.
Every year we host an annual golf outing for the fraternity, and that helps raise the money that goes to this scholarship.
The golf outing is actually in memory of one of their brothers who passed in the 1980s at an early age.
The last 30 years, I've been a regular contributor to that scholarship, but the undergrads also raise money for it. We see the best of the best come in and get this award.
For the young people receiving the scholarship, my message is just keep doing what you're doing and you're really going to go far, because it's not easy to get this scholarship.
Lawrence Tech is life-changing. It's meaningful to provide the scholarship to incoming students to help not only give that financial support, but also to kind of introduce them to campus in a different way.
Lawrence Tech is a community. Being able to give back to this scholarship just means continued growth and professional development for students on campus, and to be able to keep our legacy going on campus to Sigma Phi Epsilon, but also support Lawrence Tech at the same time.
All right, guys, as we wrap up this incredible 1 p.m. hour, let's take a moment to reflect on the day so far, right? So we've heard inspiring stories, seen the impact of your support already, celebrated the amazing community that makes Lawrence Tech so special. But we're not done yet. Our goal is to make this our most successful giving day ever. I know that I'm in full agreement here with the people on the table, but we need your help to get there. Every gift counts, no matter the size. So if you haven't already, go to ltu.edu/giving day to show your support. Now we want to check in with Rachel and see how are things going.
Thanks. I'm so excited to announce we're currently at 114 donors with $113,000 towards student scholarships and academic programs. So yes, absolutely. We're making a lot of progress. But once again, I hope you guys will join us this year and make a gift of any amount at ltu.edu/giving day. Thanks for your support.
All right, that's it. And we are going to take just a brief time out while we set up the table here again with some more guests. So stay with us as we get right up on the 2 o'clock hour and some very special guests coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
welcome back, and thank you for joining us on our live stream on our 5th annual Giving Day. We have some special guests here today, and to give a little background, there are many reasons people are compelled and want to help others. And last year, I remember it was around 9 o'clock at night. I was in my basement, and I was actually reading notes for commencement the next day because I was going to be emceeing it. And I noticed a phone call coming in from our baseball coach, Dan Eldridge. And at first I was like, I'm not going to answer this because I have nothing to do with athletics anymore, and I don't have to hear about how his pitching change is going to be. But I knew Stan wouldn't be calling me at 9 o'clock if it wasn't something serious, and it was beyond that. We had learned that one of our students, former students, alums, had passed, Sam. But we have his parents and his sister here with us today. And, myself, I got to know your son as, he worked in my office, and he had our 8 in the morning shift, which most students never pick. But he was always there on time, number one. Secondly, I think every woman in my office had a crush on him because of his eyes. But he just was always a calm presence. And I'm just so sorry. He had given so much, and we are so happy that you've found a way to help continue giving. But I want to give you just a chance to tell our community a little bit about Sam and who he was. So we have Sam's father here, Dennis, his mom, Brenda, and his sister, Cassidy. So who would like to begin?
Mom. Sam, we never really knew how many lives he touched because Sam was a very quiet person. But after he passed, the number of lives that we continue to hear stories of what Sam did. He was a quiet leader. He wasn't one that had to do it boisterously. He wasn't loud about it, but he led by example. And that is a character that he exemplified on the field, in his athletics, in his academics. He did everything 150%. He never gave less than his all. And that didn't matter. He had finished all his college math classes before he even got to college. So that was the type of person he was. Cassidy?
Yeah, I'm Cassidy, Sam's older sister. We grew up, we're 14 months apart. We grew up as like twins. He's never one, of course, as a sibling, you see a different side of him than I know a lot of people see, and like his friends, like we all see different sides of him. And even though he was younger, I looked up to him probably more times than not. He did not complain about anything, and if it was when I got him up at the crack of dawn on Christmas morning. That he did not really care for, but yeah, he was a quiet leader, and like he did not put up with any intolerance for disrespect or anything like that. Like I know some of the guys would tell stories when Sam was there, and like maybe if they struck out or something like that, and they would either slam their helmet or do something or say a couple of different words that maybe should not have been said. And he's like, hey, no, we don't do that here. That's not who we are. And it's like, no, we strive for excellence. Like if you miss out, okay, like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, which obviously like you need to be swinging at pitches if they're good. But if you don't get a hit, like, okay, what did I do wrong? And what do I need to like analyze? What can I do better moving forward, and like critique yourself to get better as yourself and grow.
Wow. Dennis.
Well, I got so much I wanted to say about him because he was just a class act. He's the one that lifted people up. He was. We did things as a family. So we always went places as a family. So when school was out, he wasn't hanging out with all his buddies because his buddies were whatever sport he was playing, and he was always. Every day he'd give me at least 2 bear hugs, and I miss those. I mean, he would pin me to my chair, and he'd be there a long time. And you needed help, he'd offer it. Somebody in a team or whoever were nervous they got pulled up to play in varsity, or or new to the college and just came to the team, he'd be the first one to greet them and welcome them. And he would tell them, just follow me and do what I do and you'll be okay. And I mean, that's
wonderful. So obviously a baseball family.
Baseball and football.
Baseball and football, okay. But tell us, because you all got the LTU baseball, what led Sam to Lawrence Tech?
Well, he wanted to be an engineer.
Okay.
So that was a big reason. And actually, Coach Eldridge was ahead of the A Green travel team. He put that together. They had it down south. Well, they started a team up north by us, an A Green team, and that was the first time they ever had a northern A Green team. And Coach Eldridge was ahead of that, and so he saw Sam play, and Sam approached him as far as wanting to get an engineering degree and see if he could play baseball for LTU. And Stan offered him a position after he came and watched him play. So
Nice. Football, you said he played too. His quarterback I saw in those highlights looked like he's pretty darn good.
Yes, he was.
Very good.
Yeah. It's I was saying this to Brenda and you, Dennis, earlier. A few weeks ago when we talked, I have a place up north, and I'm also watching Up North Live News, and I'm up there one Friday night, and I'm seeing highlights of Sam from the past, and you see like he wasn't just one of those kids that they would have a highlight. He is somebody that people knew in the community, like you were saying. How did he get known in the community so well up there?
because of all the sports that he played. He played in a lot of travel teams, both baseball and basketball to start with. So he knew a lot of kids on all of the teams up there. And it's amazing the number of people that did know him. If you didn't know him, you knew somebody that did. When you have a processional that has 53 cars and a charter bus in it, and it has 7 police cars, only 3 of which were on duty, 4 of them were there because it was for Sam. You have 2 fire stations blocking intersections with their lights going, and you have 2 conservation officers as you're passing the state park, standing at attention with their hand over their heart. You know you touched some people.
I also hope you know that tells you that you raised them well.
God had a lot to do with that.
Yeah. Understand.
You know, as a dad, you always got to tell your kids, be smart, don't be stupid. And the only thing I ever remember telling them was be a gentleman and be humble. And I didn't have to tell them that, but just as a parent, that's what you do. You tell them stuff. And I probably told him once or twice that, just because you got to say something, because he's already a great guy, just be a gentleman and be humble. And he was.
And I always told him, be a help, not a hindrance. And he took that to an extreme when they had a prom gathering with a bunch of the students, and a bunch of the parents got together and had a bunch of kids to the house for dinner. And Sam, after they got done eating, he got up and started clearing the table. Nobody else did, and the mom had to tell us that. She said, I had to share this with you because I've never had anybody do that. But Sam, no, don't do that. We don't want you to get... He got up and he started clearing the table. That's just who he was.
So you started a scholarship to honor Sam, to give someone else the opportunity, had the opportunities that Sam's had here. What was the, what got you there? Like,
the baseball team.
Wow.
It was the baseball team. All the boys, when they got together with Coach that night, graduation the next day, the boys said that's what they wanted. They wanted to have his legacy live on, both in baseball as well as at the school. And so the coach said, well, how do you want to do that? Well, we want to do a scholarship in his name. Okay, well, how are you going to fundraise to get the money for that? Said, a golf outing. And then hats off to Kelly Hennessy, which was Kyle's roommate for 4.5 years, his mom. And then Sam's roommate, Kyle, and Andrea they just took and ran with it. The hats off to the LTU baseball families. They have given so much to make these things happen. It warms our heart that they are always there. The kids, the boys are always there with a hug for us. But it was the boys that started it, and it got it going.
Incredible. You know, one thing I want you to know that we do work really hard on with our scholarships is that when the student receives it, is we like to let them know where that originated. And someone from my team will always take the time to educate that individual who receives it about who Sam was and who Sam still is. And I think that's just really beautiful that, you know, they're going to have, they have a lot to live up to, you know, in that honor, which is great. That's what we want to challenge them like. Sam was a biomedical engineering major, right?
Nope, he was mechanical.
He was mechanical. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mechanical engineering, and I forgot there's. I can't say too much just because of. He was an engineer at Thompson Surgical Instruments, and before he passed, he had been working on a project. It was a very important project, and with a very important, top-notch company besides Thompson. I can't say who, but the engineering manager wanted me to share the fact that Sam was chosen for this project because he was a very smart young man, but he was intuitive, and he wanted to learn more, and he asked questions, and he said LTU is a very great school, and if you go for your education, you will do well. And Sam's personal things, just by being the person that he was, that's another reason why he got picked for this project. And hopefully it'll be coming out in 2026, hopefully, this project, and Sam had a lot to do with it. So, and it was because of the education that he got here at LTU.
You know, as we wrap up, is there anything you want to share with our community that you'd like to say to them?
You know, you guys, all the students, faculty, you guys have a place here that you can make differences in our world for the better, not just in the work you do, but who you are and how you treat people. And you got a big lead in life graduating from this college. And I mean, there's other great colleges too, but we know personally through our son and the baseball team and the people that we met here that the people that go to this college, no matter what, if it's engineering, architect, nursing, whatever it is, you do well. And if you're playing sports and doing academics, you got to learn to utilize your time and do extra, and that's just an automatic. So,
well, we would really want to thank you for your time today, and many people have given today, and we're going to continue to find more people to give to it as well. And I'm just, want to say thank you for letting Sam be a part of my life too.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
With that, we got a video. We're going to transition. It was a little tough one, but we're going to show you why people often think of doing what Sam's family did and do endowed scholarships to honor and people's memories. So let's transition to that. Endowed scholarships are one of the keys to the future for Lawrence Tech. Higher education is extremely competitive. However, we believe we can help our students with these scholarships, and it makes it at a level that's affordable.
I'm Shannon Dare Wayne. I'm a graduate of Lawrence Tech. I graduated in industrial management in 1998 and my master's in industrial operations in 2003. I established an endowed scholarship in order to give back to the university and to celebrate students in a different manner. 2 of my children struggle with dyslexia, and that's why I wanted to not only create an endowed scholarship, but target it towards students that may have overcome challenges, making sure that we're also embracing students that may learn a little bit differently, but still can contribute in such a positive manner.
As a young man, I spent 11 years at night school going to Lawrence Tech. Throughout my career, Lawrence Tech was a huge benefit to me, but even more so, all the people that helped me over the years. I set up an Endowed scholarship because I felt it was time for me to start giving back. I named the endowment scholarship in the name of my wife, Deanna Clays. She was my backing and benchmark. I thought I would honor her contribution to our happiness and our success over the years. The joy of giving is really a joy because the more you give, the more you find out how wonderful it is to be able to help people at times.
We can help the individuals who are looking for ways to give really touch on what's important to them and meaningful to them. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing those two things come together. I'm Cindy Spatz, and I'm the Assistant Vice President for Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement. This past fall, I endowed a scholarship in the name of Laura Affer. She was an employee here at Lawrence Tech for many, many years. She had the biggest passion for our students, and it was very tragic to lose her to cancer. I know that she would want to give back to help other students achieve their dreams. I hope other people think of ways that they can have an impact, and it's just a fabulous and really a beautiful way to recognize someone and keep their memory alive.
They're ready to go, guys.
As we're ready to go, as always. Hey guys, up next we're diving into the exciting innovations and developments coming out of Lawrence Tech's College of Business and Information Technology, or COBIT, as we refer it here on campus. Thrilled to welcome two outstanding leaders to the conversation. Matt Cole, who recently stepped in his new role as Dean of COBIT, so Dr. Matt Cole, and Dr. Jackie Stavros, an accomplished professor and thought leader in the college. Let's jump right in and welcome, guys, for being here.
All right, thanks.
We appreciate you being here, and congratulations, obviously, on your new role as Dean of COBIT. So how would you encapsulate your vision for the college and how you see it evolving under your leadership?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for inviting us to speak on this 5th annual Giving Day.
Yes.
It's a big deal, and the donations and generosity of the givers really help to support our mission in the College of Business. And yes, as the new dean, started in January, interim dean for about a year. You know, I've been here at Lawrence Tech since 2003. I've always been focused on helping our students learn through our motto of theory and practice. And so our mission in the College of Business was to really leverage that and focus on creating business professionals. So we're really interested in helping the students develop a career, and a career that leads to meaningful change in business. We know business drives the economy. Business is something that all of our students at Lawrence Tech, regardless of the majors, need to be aware of, need to be immersed in. And so the students that choose College of Business Information Technology in terms of their undergraduate or graduate degrees in business administration or information technology or business data analytics, they're going to be prepared to hit the world running, and we try to give them the best shot at meaningful careers.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we're doing here, one of the things we like to do is talk about exciting new things. And one of the things that, for a lot of us who love sports, understand the sport management degree is launched. And what inspired the addition, and how does it align with LTU's focus on blending business and technology?
Well, I want to thank Jackie for helping with that. And,
Yeah.
and I'll say a little bit and then turn it over to
Yeah,
you.
please.
So, you know, what's interesting about this growth at Lawrence Tech into more athletics and residential campus experience is that College of Business and Information Technology has about 70% of our undergraduates are leveraging their athletic abilities. So as student athletes, we want to give them experiences in this world about being a business professional that can tap into their skills in teamwork, coaching, leadership. And so with the help of Jackie, we thought of ways that we could create another major in the business administration degree, and so that led to a major in sports management. Would you like to share some more about that?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having us. Kevin was one of my students.
Yes, I was.
And
Full circle.
I hired Matt to come over to the College of Business and IT.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So one of the things that really excites me about the sports management degree is a pile was growing. For a few years, I've wanted to bring that over here because we have so many athletes, undergrad and graduates, who have asked for this. So that was the exciting thing. It's 5 classes, and it's really focused on, there's so many careers available besides continuing to play your sports, but working in sports. So we're excited with sports management, sports and data analytics, sports operations, and we looked across the states at all the management courses for this.
So we had a nice team that got together of our College of Business Advisory Board, along with talking to students and faculty, and we just put together a really nice major.
Yeah.
So we're excited to get it started. I think,
Yeah, in my notes it says to talk about Donald James, who is a proud alumni, holds both an MBA and a DBA. Talk about Donald James and why he's important to talk about today.
Let me cue it up.
Okay. All right, cue it up.
So Don, is a great alumni of COBIT.
Yes.
And Don, as you see there, it says MBA and DBA.
Yeah.
So Don is a graduate of our DBA program that we paused about 10 years ago. We're starting that up again.
Right.
Fall 2025, the program kicks off again. 54 credits, 3 years focused degree, 30 credits of coursework, 24 credits of research, a research-intensive doctorate of business administration. And Don is one of our alum, very successful, CEO at Solero. And Jackie was his dissertation chair.
Oh, there you go.
So I would like you to share a bit about him.
Don was first one of our MBA students, and he was a customer service rep. He comes from very humble beginnings, and he says, I want to keep learning. And he said, someday maybe I'll be a CEO, which is a chief executive officer. And so after he finished our MBA program, within a couple of years, he took the DBA program, and he is a world-class CEO in the automotive industry. And he's so caring, so giving. And speaking of Giving Day, when he came back after a 4-year assignment in Germany, he says, what can I do for LTU alum? So he is every single semester, no matter how busy he is, he takes off time to meet the students in the Management 2203, and they get to see somebody who started from humble beginnings, but who is a very successful CEO. So he's quite an inspiration to our students.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the DBA program is make it a comeback. So Jackie, what are the goals of the reboot? How will it meet the needs of today's professionals looking to advance in their careers?
Yeah, so the reboot of the DBA had to deal with, we now have our AACSB accreditation. We have the qualified faculty and staff that should be teaching in a doctorate program. It's really designed for people who want to be practitioner scholars. So usually the people who join are wanting to be at the C-suite, consultants, thought leaders, and it's a very practical DBA, and it's a doctorate of business administration. So we're really excited. It's going to be a little more flexible with the online offering, but we're ready to bring it back.
You had a good celebration this past weekend, too. Can you tell us a little bit about the National Honor Society?
Yeah, so as an AACSB accredited university, we are a member of the Beta Gamma Sigma Honor Society, and we started a chapter here. So yeah, we get to induct students who are top 10% undergraduates, top 10% graduates, and we had a class of 65 inductees, and we had our big induction dinner reward ceremony on Friday, and Don James was actually our keynote presenter, nice. So it sort of all wraps up really nicely.
All comes together, right?
Yeah, he gave a great keynote about being a CEO at Solero. Interestingly enough, he's navigating the tariffs, the economic climate. He's in the automobile industry, so he's got to bring together a lot of different suppliers, international. So I think he gave the students what we leverage in COBIT, which is industry experienced professionals who are great teachers, faculty who are doing great research, and it all comes together. So this giving is what's needed to help the students continue to experience what we can offer.
All right. Well, Matt and Jackie, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate sharing some incredible insights. It's clear COVID is at the forefront of business and technology education. Your leadership is paving the way for a bright future for our students and alumni, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, up next we're going to have a very special segment that reflects on the extraordinary life and legacy of Ken Cook, right? Is that where we're at? Is that where we're going? Oh, we do. All right, well, let's show that. Okay, we have a scholarship video that we want to share with you, and we're going to see that right now.
Lawrence Tech is truly a great institution. We are graduating top-notch professionals in every discipline. The impact that we have on the students and their families and on their communities is transformative. Scholarships make a huge difference. As a young engineering professor in Connecticut, I actually vividly remember a story, and that had to do with 4 young women who were high school students. It was an underserved community. I saw them grow, but I knew that their circumstances would not enable them to attend college. I did really make it a mission for myself trying to raise scholarship for these young women and help out. It was a joy and a pleasure to see their progression from being high school students who really did not have a great chance to becoming incredible professionals through the great philanthropy of people and organizations. That was really the genesis of my own personal journey in higher education. It all became about providing more opportunity and doing good, having a bigger impact, making a difference.
My name is Juliana Ezzi. I am a graduate student in architectural engineering here at Lawrence Tech. I started out here, didn't know very many people, so I joined a lot of organizations very fast. I also found out about the private donor scholarships pretty early on, and they have helped me so much. My education at Lawrence Tech has completely changed my life. I've learned how to be a leader. I've found that focusing mostly on my academics and really putting all of my attention into something that I can really make a change. Receiving a scholarship was a huge help in my academic career. It's such a great feeling to be the person being invested in.
Lawrence Tech is life-changing. It's a university of endless opportunities and supporting staff. Hi, I'm Jawan Jones. I'm a senior here at Lawrence Technological University, and I'm studying biomedical engineering. Growing up as a first-generation college student, I was taught to go to college and taught to pursue my education, but having that savings account readily available for college wasn't really available for me. After my first semester of school, I realized that I needed more money and I needed more financial support. I was able to receive the Edward Donnelly Scholarship, and so I got my all of my 4 years paid for, and it has just been a great experience. The money, the scholarships, and the willingness to help other students, it helps a lot. I give a shout out to my parents for instilling an individual that doesn't give up and wants to pursue greater.
We truly believe in this. We believe in providing incredible opportunities for students who otherwise would not be able to have them. Their impact on society and the communities that they serve after graduation as our alumni is truly transformative.
Back here today, and we're going to take the next few minutes here to talk about just an incredible colleague of many people here at the university. We try to always have Giving Day be different traditions going on campus that day, or celebrations, to kind of build into it. So you saw like some Greek Day events going on earlier. But when we get done here today, we're going to be inducting one of our former colleagues, Ken Cook, who was a professor for many years here, impacted many since, into the Engineering College Hall of Fame. So with that, we brought back a few of his colleagues who are going to kind of reflect on who Ken was and that great spirit and how he made us just a better university. So we have with us Dr. Abro, Dr. Jensen, and Roger Harrison. I guess we'll start with you, Dr. Abro, and then we'll just work our way down. What's your first initial thoughts on who Ken Cook was and his impact on our university?
It is very difficult. Thank you very much for the opportunity, but it's very difficult to
really talk about Ken Cook without taking longer time, which I don't have, definitely. But Ken Cook was, first of all, incredible engineer. And not only incredible engineer, but also incredible individual. And I think most of the people know that he graduated from Lawrence Tech in 1965 with a bachelor in electrical engineering. And he started teaching and as an adjunct on 65, just 1 year after that. So he spent almost 6 years of his life with Lawrence Tech, and he didn't feel that he's working. He just wanted to be at Lawrence Tech. And as a chair of our department for 17 years, I worked with him very, very closely. And I have to say that Ken Cook have used all his skills as an engineer, as administrator, to make the department and the program that he teaches in very successful. He used not only his engineering capability, you know that he's an entrepreneur, he was an entrepreneur, and he has over 30 patents owned by him. Using that background, he managed to design our course, which is the graduation course. We call it Senior Project Course. He designed it as, I would say, as an enterprise. And it was so unique, it provoked all the entrepreneurship thinking of the students. Not only that, but at the end of that, what he will do, he will take all his students at the final presentations. After that, he will take them for a night out, for a drink, dinner, and magic show. You know that Ken was not only a professor, but he was a professional magician too. And not only magic he gave to Lawrence Tech, but also he gave the best guacamole recipe to everybody in the university. and he was great in making parties. The Christmas party of our department was always distinguished and great. Really, we are very thankful, especially that when he passed away, before he passed away, he sat in the office with me and he said he will give the department $1 million of his wealth to the department. We thank him for that, and his name will keep on going
your
in the
job title
department.
has his name in it every day, so you're going to have a friendly reminder every day.
Yeah, and actually this year, I have to announce now for the first time, you know how the College of Engineering every year, we had this awardee program. Students from different departments, different activities get awards. This year, because of the gift of Ken Cook, those awards will have some cash with them from the Ken Cook gift, really. So, again, I'm going to say a little bit more in the next event, maybe.
Yeah, you've got a speech coming up.
But that's what, briefly, what Ken Cook was.
Dr. Jensen, what would you like to add to that?
Well, I have known Ken for over 20 years now, and I remember my first interaction with him was actually teaching a night course across the aisle for him, or across the hallway for him. Okay. And that was in fact capstone design. And I could hear that engagement that he had with the students and expectation of high quality work, and he really instilled that in the students. But also for me as a junior faculty member, he really went out of his way to make sure that I had everything I needed teaching there at night, and he was always trying to bring smiles to everyone's face. And actually I have here 2 poodles that he made for my daughters. These are the poodles that he would always have these pearls in his pocket and make little animals for everybody. So just to bring a smile to your face, bringing light in some of those difficult. Yeah. So that's his little poodle.
Yeah, I know we're going to have his lemon candies at the ceremony today. He
Yeah.
always had those as well.
Right.
Roger, your turn.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for inviting me.
Sure.
I've had the pleasure of working every day with Ken. From a unique perspective as project engineer, because a lot of faculty members, they're all so busy working hard, they're in classrooms, but I got a chance to work in the labs, and then Ken's lab was down the hall from our lab. And he always had this expression where he's excited and happy, and as if he had discovered something just that day that he wanted to invent, and that enthusiasm and excitement that he always portrayed was contagious. Anybody around him would also kind of envelop that kind of attitude, and he's dearly missed for sure. I miss seeing him every day. I miss working with him, and he always had time. If you had a question, he would stop and listen carefully, and then have meaningful input to either help you or give you some guidance as to where you could go for sources of information to maybe help your situation. I'm also an inventor, and I was elected the president of the LTU chapter of the National Academy of Inventors, which has been Ken's dream from the beginning. And so I'm honored to step in and try to, there's no way I'm going to fill those shoes, but make every effort that I can to make sure that his dream lives on. And that we've had a couple of events already. I'd like to encourage anyone out there, if they would like to be a member of the LTU chapter of the National Academy of Inventors, reach out to us. We're more than happy to sign you up. We just had our event in the fall, and we just had an event a couple of weeks ago. Both honorary members of Dr. Sobh, and then Vice President Dr. Grace, as well as the patent attorneys that are our corporate sponsors. And we have moved forward and continue to move forward in a very Ken-like manner, excitement, enthusiasm, and we want to help everyone and share all of that information that Ken would always, basically what taught me, being exposed to Ken and his great attitude that he had for everything.
Dr. Jones, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, for Ken, it was always about the students, and it did not matter whether you were in engineering technology or biomedical engineering or electrical engineering. And he has stepped up to help us in many cases where one time where we had a faculty member fall ill in electrical and computer engineering, he stepped in right then and there and taught an additional intro to electrical and computer engineering course, and the students just loved him, and because of that, he kept teaching that for years, right? So it's that spirit. He loved everybody.
I say, as you know, I used to be the dean of students, and faculty would often call you about like a problem or a situation with a student. Anytime Ken called me, I almost stopped listening, because by the time the student made it to my office, Ken already solved the problem. So it was like, I just gotta listen. That's all I gotta do here. We're getting ready to close this out, but you can watch our live stream continues at 3 o'clock with the Engineering Hall of Fame induction. And this year, usually we induct more than one person, but we just all decided it can only be Ken. And I think the cool thing is you're going to have a constant reminder in your office being renamed, your job title, but also seeing Ken's image with all those great other people in our Hall of Fame. And I think he's our first faculty member to make the Engineering Hall of Fame, so it makes sense that Ken would set that record. But we got what a great person that blessed us all. So thank you for taking your time to share your memories. Good luck. You got another speech coming up.
Thank you so much.
So when I talk about Ken, time flies. Just flies.
It really does, doesn't it? That's the thing. Like when you were with Ken, you were always in a good mood.
For 17 years, we worked closely every day, every hour of the day, and we were like a family. We discussed things, we worked together, we argued, we yelled at each other, and sometimes we have a little divorce, but it always works out.
That's like all families, right?
Yes. Just like a family.
Well, take care. Glad you shared your memories with us, and we'll make sure that we continue to do the same.
Thank you very much.
Take care, everyone. Yes. Okay, now, Ken, was mentioned, was a magician. So we'd like to show you a video of Ken making some magic.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Nurzahan.
Hi, Nurzahan. I'm Ken, and I teach at Lawrence Tech, and I teach in the engineering school. But the newest thing today has to do with quantum computing. Yeah, and quantum physics. And I don't know if you know this, but there's something that happens in this that was hard to understand. It's called quantum entanglement. And what that means is if something happens in one place, the same thing will happen to the similar object in another place, like they are hooked together. They could be next to one another, or they could be miles or across the universe. And I thought maybe it would be good if I demonstrated this for you. I have some sample things in here that can demonstrate the effects of quantum entanglement. They're matchboxes. So if I take them out, and they do that, and see, you can see through them. All right? And they look like this. And you'll find out that these boxes are actually entangled. Let's put this little drawer in here, like that. And watch, you will see the effects of it. Remember, I said what happens to one happens to the other. If I push on this, okay, I get a hold of it like this. There, that's better. You see that they are entangled. Is that cool?
That's
Yeah, I thought so. That's kind of cool. Okay, and we can do all sorts of crazy things with it. Here, for instance, if I do this, okay, well, let's do this way. There, ready? Watch.
Wow.
Huh? Is that good?
That's
Push on it.
okay.
Go ahead. See, you prove that quantum entanglement actually exists. Now they look like this.
All right.
All right, let's make them almost even. Go ahead, push on that one. See? Is that cool or what?
Yes, beyond.
I think it's really cool. Let's maybe do something else with it. If we do this, watch, it's possible that I can separate them in my hands like this.
Okay.
Well, if I push on this one, go ahead, push on that one. See? And you can look at the back or the front. It makes no difference. They're entangled.
I have no words.
Yeah, that's good. Because quantum entanglement, sometimes people have a hard time understanding. But this is a good demonstrator for what it means. Now, one of the problems you have is this. I want to put them away in the boxes, and I have to break the entanglement. And that happens when I put them together, and I put them back in their carrying case, which makes them safe for me to carry around. Otherwise, I'd be jumping all over. Okay, now push down on one. Okay, now push down on the other. And see, the entanglement is now broken.
Okay.
And I can put them away. All right? Next time when somebody says, what's quantum, you'll be able to tell them how you know all about it.
Everything.
All right,
Everything.
thank you. I bought a nothing box. Why? Because there's nothing inside of it. And if there's nothing inside of it, I thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could put nothing in it and then see what it sounds like? So with that in mind, I went and got a student that I said, would you just deposit nothing in the box? Oh, it's not quite full, put a little bit more in. That's great, okay? And then with nothing in the box, see, it looked like nothing. I trapped it like that. And then I said, I'm now gonna hear what nothing sounds like. So as I did this, whoa, I heard what nothing sounded like. And I couldn't believe it, so I had to look inside. And as you can see, there's still nothing in the box. But I do have a sword. Mine's kind of a pointed sword. And I have a ring. And this ring fits in something that we could recognize as the rock. And what happens is if we put the ring in and out, it can be removed. But if we put the sword in, like that, you see we can pick it up. And it's totally locked in. Now, when King Arthur came up to do that, he extracted the sword, but today I will just extract the ring, all right? And you can see that it's here. Now, if you put the ring back into the rock, you see that it's possible that it's still trapped, and you can take the sword out. So King Arthur really did extract his sword.
You know what? I love Ken Cook. He was an amazing guy, somebody who really welcomed me with open arms when I started really getting involved with the College of Engineering. And, he was just such a huge fan of the tagline when he learned it was "Be Curious, Make Magic." He says, that's perfect for LTU. And he was perfect for LTU for 60 years. And, that event that he would have at Shields with his class every year was always something special. His magic show.
My son loved it. He said it was just great. It's funny when you reflect on and I think about when we visit with alumni. It's often the people they talk the most about our faculty. It's moments like that when they saw how much that person cared for them. And, I think it's what makes us have something very special here at Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, no question about it.
One of many things, but that one is a large part of it.
Yeah, 100%. A special guy. I was so glad that we got to get him in the studio to be able to do that because, again, the magic part of his life was so important to him as everything that he did here at LTU during the decades. And we thank Sabah, Roger, and Elin for coming in and sharing their memories.
Exactly.
So that was wonderful. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close to the end here. It has been an incredible day. We've got inspiring stories. We had generosity pouring in from all corners of the LTU community. Clear, the 5th annual Giving Day is one that we will remember. Now, before we officially wrap up, let's recap a few important reminders. The celebrations continue tonight at Fuddruckers in Southfield from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. Join us for food, drinks, and fun. And if you haven't made your gift yet, there's still time to help us reach our goal and make this our most successful Giving Day ever. So every donation matters. So go to ltu.edu/Giving Day. And don't forget to mark your calendar for the Gala, which will be a highlight of some of our Giving Day celebrations and things like that. Plus, coming up at 3 p.m., stay tuned for a Hall of Fame ceremony. We're going to honor the legacy of Ken Cook and celebrate his excellence in the College of Engineering. Now, before we sign off, we'll check in one last time with Rachel for an update on where we stand with donation. Rachel, what is the latest?
We are currently at 136 donors. That has raised over $256,000, 779. But again, we are not done yet. Though our live stream will be ending pretty soon, you can still make a gift at ltu.edu/Giving Day. The campaign will be running until midnight, so please join us. Make a gift of any amount. Your gift is truly appreciated.
Thank you, Rachel. Good job.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Finn?
Thank you for everybody who has given. Thank you if you're considering. It's you see behind us all the students walking by throughout the day.
Yeah.
And when you give, that's who you impact, and you see how great they are. You saw the stories of the professors they get to interact with, what it meant to somebody who graduated and unfortunately didn't get to use his skills as long as he should have been able to. Yeah. It's a great community, and we think everybody who else can make this, could you. And on your end, Lauren, and it's Yellow Flag team, I want to say I look forward to this day every year, number one, but thanks for helping us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Big shout out to the Yellow Flag Productions team here who put this all together and kept us live. And of course, to Pam Hilton for organizing everything. She is a warrior behind the scenes and runs a tight ship, and we love it. We wouldn't want it any other way, and that's how we want to celebrate Giving Day again. ltu.edu/Giving Day is where you go. Join. Kevin will be at Fuddruckers tonight.
Oh, definitely.
So join us there. It's been redesigned. It's amazing in there.
Oh, it is. It really, is a real happening place on the weekends.
If you have not been there, it's on Evergreen in Southfield. If you haven't been there, check it out. Great TVs.
Randy Boucher is the owner
beautiful
operator. He
bar
just does a great
area.
job.
Yeah, good food. So anyway, that's where it is. Check it out. Starts at 4:30, and we'll run to sometime after 7:30. But again, for everybody here for the 5th annual Giving Day, that's a wrap on the live stream. But again, it continues to midnight. ltu.edu/Giving Day. I am Lauren Plant for Kevin Finn. We appreciate you being here once again. And until next year, keep giving. Go Blue Devils.
Yeah, buddy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Special College of Engineering Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Dr. Celine Arslan. I'm the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs at College of Engineering at LTU, as well as the Mistress of the Ceremonies at today's event. The College of Engineering Hall of Fame was established in 2012 to recognize alumni who has distinguished themselves in the engineering profession through exceptional leadership, successful entrepreneurship, innovation, and contributions to the engineering education. This biennial ceremony honors the recipients with an induction and a plaque, which will be permanently displayed in the Hall of Fame. Today marks the 5th ceremony since the Hall of Fame's inception, and only 31 alumni have previously received this prestigious honor. As we begin, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Ken's family members who are here with us today. Elaine Cook, his wife, Ken's son, Ken Cook Jr., and his wife, Christine Cook, Margot Cook, his daughter, grandson Paul and his future wife, Hannah, and Darcy, his granddaughter. I would also like to recognize the members of the university leadership who are here with us today, though they will not be speaking during this ceremony. Ms. Linda Height, Vice President for Finance and Administration, Dr. Richard Heiss, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Ms. Lisa Kuyawa is also here, Vice President of Enrollment and Management. And Dr. Matt Cole, the Dean of College of Business and Information Technology. Thank you all for joining us today. To kick off today's program, it's my pleasure to introduce LTU's President, Dr. Tarek Sobh. Dr. Sobh was inaugurated as the 8th President of LTU in 2022. He joined LTU in 2020, serving as the Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost. Prior to his time at LTU, Dr. Sobh served as the Interim Provost and University Executive President for Research and Economic Development, as well as the founding Dean of the College of Engineering, Business, and Education at the University of Bridgeport at Bridgeport, Connecticut. In addition to his role as the President, Dr. Sobh is a tenured Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering at Lawrence Tech University. Recently, Dr. Sobh was also elected as Chair-elect of the Association of Independent Technological Universities. Please join me in welcoming President Dr. Tarek Sobh.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Arslan. First, I would like to welcome the family of Professor Ken Cook and all of our guests here today. It is such a privilege to be able to honor Ken's legacy and impact within the engineering profession in general, and in particular within Lawrence Technological University. Ken's professional impact was significant, and his impact on engineering education was truly extraordinary. Some might say magical. He truly exemplified LTU's motto of theory and practice education that has been part of our philosophy for over 93 years. LTU students take abstract ideas from the classroom into the real world, solving problems, developing innovative solutions, and becoming outstanding leaders in the communities they serve. Ken's work for more than 5 decades with our students enabled these transformative outcomes for our students, for the communities that our students live in, and for the families and industries that the students participate in. He's had a lasting impact, and for that we are incredibly, eternally grateful. I will go off script. I mean, I did write this, obviously, but I want to go off script for a couple of minutes. And I was sharing this with Ken, actually, a couple of minutes ago. On a personal level, I'm actually incredibly grateful to Ken. I moved here in 2020, September 2020, as a provost, as Celine mentioned, in the midst of the pandemic. It was a very, very tough year, particularly in my case because I had lived and had a previous job in New England for 25 years. Part of my family was still in New England because youngest kids were in high school. Life was very, very tough moving to a brand new states without being able to see many people in person. And, you know, I'm supposed to run the academic part of the university. So it was a very tough transition. I can tell you, I mean, Ken's support and friendship made a whole world of difference for me. He literally made me feel home from day one. And I always tell him, I mean, you're one of the reasons, not that I only stayed and continued being at Lawrence Tech, but I truly felt that I belonged to this university from day one. Ken loved LTU, loved our students, loved everything about this university. If I were to think of a person who's LTU through and through, it would be simply Ken Cook. What an amazing gentleman. True champion for his students, somebody who made a difference in the lives of thousands upon thousands of students and their families. Again, on a personal level, I am incredibly grateful to your dad and to your husband and to your grandfather. I mean, what an amazing gentleman. His legacy will continue to live on forever. I have absolutely no doubt. And this is really a small token of appreciation that we're trying to basically reward or acknowledge, just a small piece of all of his contributions to Lawrence Tech and to the students and their families. Again, it's such a pleasure being here to honor Ken's impact and legacy. Thank you again to the family. Thank you for sharing Ken with us for so many, many years. And again, thank you to all of our faculty, staff, alumni for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sobh. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Maj Mirmirani, Interim Dean of the College of Engineering. Before joining LTU, Dr. Mirmirani served as the Interim Dean of the Ross College of Engineering at Ohio University for the 2023-24 academic year. He also held the position of Dean of the College of Engineering at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for 14 years. Prior to his tenure at Embry-Riddle, Dr. Mirmirani was a department chair and a professor of mechanical engineering for several years. He earned his PhD in mechanical engineering from the University of California, Berkeley, and his Bachelor's of Science degree from Tehran Polytechnic. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Maj Mirmirani.
Thank you, Dr. Arsalan, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. It is my great pleasure to welcome alumni and friends of the college, our distinguished faculty and dedicated staff at this LTU and the College of Engineering Hall of Fame induction ceremony. In particular, I would like to welcome the family of Professor Kenneth Cook and our LTU alumni who have joined us today, either in person or online. I didn't have the good fortune of meeting Professor Cook in person, as I joined the LTU after his passing. But I have heard and learned so much about him since I've been here, and that he was a dedicated educator, someone who truly loved the students at LTU and LTU, indeed, an exceptional human being. It is in that spirit that I'm humbled and honored to be part of this ceremony, recognizing his significant impact in the engineering profession, the university, and the College of Engineering through his outstanding leadership, successful entrepreneurship, innovation, and contribution to engineering education. At this point, I would like to introduce the former Dean of the College of Engineering and now Senior Vice President for Research and Economic Development, Dr. Nabil Grace, someone who knew Professor Cook well. Dr. Grace served as the Dean of the College of Engineering from 2010 to 2024. He earned a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering as an honor graduate from Cairo University and a Master of Science and a PhD both in Civil Engineering and both from the University of Windsor. Dr. Grace.
Thank you, Maj. Appreciate it. President Sobh and family of Ken Cook. I'm going to get off the script. I'm not going to read, but I'm going to follow the president's footsteps. I have known Ken Cook since 2006. I was a faculty member here in civil engineering. One night, 8 o'clock in the evening, he knocked on my door And he said, "Are you Nabil Grace?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "My name is Ken Cook, and I'm here to help you." I said, "Okay." And he said, "You build bridges?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "I hang signs, big signs on bridges." I said, "Wow, how are you going to help me? Are you a structural engineer?" He said, "No." "Are you a material engineer?" "No." "But you know what? Come tomorrow to my office." He gave me the address. And I said, "I'll go for half an hour." I went for 2.5 hours, honestly. So when I went over there, he walked me through a big sign that he invented that has LED that you hung on bridges. It tells you, that was in 2006, where to go, when is the accident. Wow. And then he talked to me about his invention, about 25 patents. And he said, "Do you have patents?" I said, "No." He said, "I'm going to introduce you tomorrow to an attorney that he helped me to come up with patents." Just in 2 hours. I said, "Can I buy you lunch?" He said, "Yes." Amazing guy. So Ken and I became very, very close. And actually, when I became the dean, we became closer. He was a very proud man. He was proud of you because he talked to me a lot about all the invention that you guys did for the football player and the sensor that you have. He was proud of you and you. And he talked to me about the trip that you arranged for him to go to the army and go inside a tank. And almost for 2 hours. He came here, "Nabil, you should believe it. Oh, come on. Next time I go, I will take you." I said, "That's fine." He even was proud of his Corvette. When he ordered his Corvette, he went all the way. He told me, "I'm going to go to the factory and drive my Corvette all the way to Michigan." And when you see the Corvette outside in the parking lot, it's in a mint condition. He just washed it. And you can see him getting out, and he cleaned it up. He was a very well-rounded guy. I watched him closely, not as a dean, as a chair, no. But after our meeting in his office, I noticed in his office it says chief engineer. It says vice president. And after I learned all this about him, I said, "Would you be interested to work full-time at Lawrence Tech?" He said, "Can you do that?" I said, "No, I'm not the dean, I'm the chair. But we have a dean called Laird Johnston, amazing dean, MIT graduate." I said, "Give me your CV." I came next day, and I had to travel with Laird Johnston to Washington, D.C. to go to Army Research Lab. While we were talking, I said, "Laird, you should meet Ken Cook." He said, "For what?" I said, "Potentially, he can restore the Department of Technology. He can gain back the accreditation that we lost. He can develop new programs such as audio engineering. He can. He said, enough, he's hired." True. A few weeks later, Laird Johnston came to me, and Maria made the announcement that we have Ken Cook as the chair of technology. I watched Ken during the senior projects. What an amazing, he's not a typical professor. He was ahead of his time. So with this, I can speak for almost an hour about Ken Cook. But certainly, he's fun to have him around, and I miss him very much. And certainly, he was so proud of Elaine. He talked about being a nurse. You're taking good care of him, what kind of tests need to be done. He talks about his family every time I see him. So we miss Ken, and we were lucky to have him. He has his fingerprints all over our College of Engineering and Technology. With this, it's a pleasure to welcome you at Lawrence Tech, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Mimrani and Dr. Grace. Now I would like to invite Dr. Sabah Abro, the Kenneth J. Cook Endowed Chair of the Engineering Technology Department, to deliver the formal presentation. In 2023, Dr. Abro was appointed as the chair of the Engineering Technology Department. He has been with LTU since 1997, initially serving as an adjunct professor, and became a full-time professor in the Engineering Technology Department in 2010. Dr. Abro holds a bachelor's degree from Baghdad University, a master's degree from the United Nations Institute in the Middle East, a second master's degree from the University in the United Kingdom, and a PhD degree from Belgium. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sabah Abro, the Kenneth J. Cook Endowed Chair of the Engineering Technology Department.
Thank you, Dr. Arsalan. Ken's family, and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be emotional, okay? Very, very nice to see you here, all of you, and thank you for joining us, President Sobh, all my colleagues, Dean Mermurani, Provost Heist, and all the distinguished guests. It is not easy to stand here and talk about Ken Cook, like everybody before me said. To me and my colleagues in the department, it's especially hard because for 17 solid years, we worked together day by day, hour by hour, and a lot of weekends that Celine will arrange a program for us to meet families and students here, and she wants us to be here at 9. Both of us will be here at 8:30. But we have worked together very, very, very closely. So it is really an honor to stand here in front of you and to recognize the commitment and dedication of Professor Ken Cook. I am sure that from the Hall of Fame plaque, you will learn a lot about him. But I just want to say a few things that might not be written in the plaque and might not be covered by my predecessors, colleagues that talked about Ken. You know, we all know that Ken graduated in 1965 with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering Technology. No, sorry. Electrical engineering. And he almost finished the 60th year. And I remember President Sobh was telling him, very soon you will be the one that will have a 60 years plaque on you. But unfortunately, he didn't wait that long. You know, besides being a faculty, and he served, as I said, for 17 years, he was my boss, our leader of the department. He was really, by all means, a very remarkable engineer, and also an individual, a remarkable individual. He serves at LTU, and he did not stop at being faculty and administrator only, but he shared with Lawrence Tech skills that a lot of people don't have. Those skills were, first, magic performances. Secondly, the best recipe of a guacamole. and thirdly, the best departmental Christmas party. He was great about all of those things. He was a great host, a great person, great cook. He was his last name is Cook, but he was also a great actual cook too. And if you go to his home, he will barbecue the steak for you and put your name on it because he knows how do you like your steak. So he was very special. He was also an entrepreneur. And this entrepreneur quality that he has, he translated it into his senior project, into the capstone. The capstone of the engineering technology department is distinguished among other, like my predecessor said. It is based on his entrepreneur mind that has 30 patents actually before he passed away, named after him. So he translated this mentality into a course, and that course was distinguished from any other capstone or senior project course. It was so distinguished that we, him and I, and sometimes Jerry with us, we wrote several papers on that capstone. That's how distinguished it was, and it was presented at national conferences, several conferences as well. When he became the chair of the department, he introduced a new vision and new techniques in managing the department, and that was the family style. He really dealt with the department, with us all, as family, and we still are, it's contagious, So we are also now following his style of management. we were really a family, and we worked together very well. And of course, as any family, we argued a lot, we yelled a lot, and sometimes we had some divorces, small divorces. So this was Ken Cook. Starting today, you will see that Ken Cook legacy will travel to his students. For the first time during the College of Engineering Student Awards ceremony this afternoon, later on today, part of the gift that Ken Cook gave to the department is a distinguished gift to the department. I'm talking about financial gift, besides his career gift. Our students today will have a small check from the gift of Lawrence Tech attached to their certification of excellence in their studentship. So that will be going on for a long, long time to go. And I really would like to thank Ken's family for sharing him with us. Really, we shared them with them because he would stay here teaching class till midnight, and literally midnight. He will be here till midnight. And second day, if he came at 9 o'clock, he said, well, I was late, I stopped at the bank, what late, you just left. So that was Ken Cook, and at this point, actually, I don't want to take the whole floor because we can talk about Ken Cook forever. Literally, living with him for those details of 17 years is not easy to forget a lot of his very, very tiny little details. Okay, what I want to do now, I want to invite President Sobh, Dr. Marmirani, and please come forward so you can present the plaque to the family. Ken's family, could you please come forward too? And Seelan, would you take care of that, or do you want me to? Okay.
I found it.
I think you should be in the middle.
Yeah, I
should.
No, you should go in too. So.
I will go.
I
Please.
think the president should be here.
President should be here. In the middle of the family, please.
President should be here.
Sabah, you're gonna carry the name of Ken Cook to the rest of your life and your career, so you should. You should be, seriously. I mean, you know. So.
Thank you.
Now we.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't wait to do this.
Okay, now to the most exciting part of the ceremony. We are going to officially unveil the Hall of Fame with our newest members' plaque added just this week. Dr. Sobh, Dr. Marmirani, and Dr. Abro, if you will do the honors, please.
Sure. So you know what to do, right? No. Push it down.
Down.
Pull
You're
it.
gonna pull it down.
Pull it down.
Hard.
I think we should have a picture with you next to the wall. So, please, please. Let me take that clothes out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words too?
I have a few words.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh. I'm Ken Cook, Jr. Thank you all so much for this honor. My dad never sought recognition or award for himself, but he certainly deserves the recognition. Ken Cook was an excellent engineer, an inspiring teacher, and a champion for LTU. And he was the best teacher I've ever had. When I was just 5 or 6 years old, I could point to something. I'd point to an appliance and say, "How works, Dad?" And he could explain how it works. Doesn't make it up. He knows, because he took it apart and fixed it. In high school, he was told he could never be an engineer because his grades were so poor, yet he became one of the best engineers I have ever met. I believe that to really understand a topic, you need to learn it well enough to teach it. Sorry. Answering questions on others' questions fills in the gaps in your knowledge. For 60 years, every Tuesday and Thursday night, he taught in his engineering curriculum. He taught what he learned here, and then far beyond, keeping current with the new technology. He taught algebra, trig, calc, differential equations, thermodynamics, materials, DC and AC circuits, transistors, op-amps, digital logic, microprocessors, and of course, senior projects. I think he became such a good engineer because of all the different subjects he taught here. It was that experience that grounded him. His creativity let him be the entrepreneur. As a lifelong learner, he studied nuclear medicine, low-temperature physics, robotics, biomedical electronics, photography, computers. His inventions. An early one was a defibrillator calibrator and tester, patient bed alarm, electronic patient simulator, football helmet tester. Those alone have saved thousands of lives. And you don't hear about it. He didn't get any recognition for those. He was an inspiring teacher. He was always excited about his students, their projects, and their successes. He wanted recognition for them. He wanted you to know how good of a job they were doing. I don't think he knew he could teach until he began teaching here at LTU in night school. With his experience, he'd explain to you why you needed a particular formula or concept. He loved teaching and cared about his students, always found new ways to teach and keep them engaged, using magic to foster curiosity. So, is it any wonder that after 60 years of his magic, LTU's slogan is, "Be curious, make magic." He was a champion for LTU. His magic and enthusiasm probably brought thousands of students to LTU and into engineering. He knew all the departments at LTU, not just engineering, and he could explain most of the degree programs and why a student might be interested in that. He loved LTU, but always looked out for his charges. With every change or new policy, his first question was, is this best for the students? And I'm sure that was kind of a pain in the rear for most of the administration, but that was always his question. Ken deeply believed that theory and practice are both essential for effective engineering. Most institutions focus too much on theory due to testing requirements, but it is practice that builds the entrepreneurial skills. My dad's greatest strength was his broad but deep knowledge. He was a mile wide, but hundreds of feet deep. He understood science and engineering and manufacturing and business, and he could communicate with people in all of those different fields. Specialization is useful, but the real world is not divided into silos. He felt broad understanding was an essential part of engineering technology program. So his last request that he endow the department and to help foster more understanding across those specializations. Thanks, Dad. And thank you, Lawrence Tech, for this wonderful recognition.
Thank you so much, Ken. Now I would like to invite Kevin Finn, Vice President of Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement, to the lectern for the closing remarks.
Well, first and foremost, thank you to the Cook family. Last time we had dinner, I think it was early October, and I had a chance myself, obviously, to talk to Ken and what his wishes were. You also did, and I'm so happy that we were able to continue that. His biggest care was, that I took away from it, was that we just continue doing what we're doing. And he wanted to make sure that that lasts. And it's just incredible. I think the other thing I just want to add is just his uniqueness. We all know so much about his personality. I get a call a few weeks ago, Dr. Sobh and I were traveling in Florida with one of my colleagues in my department. She says, "Why are we ordering these candies?" So Linda, this is an answer for you too. And I said, "Oh, because whenever I was by Ken or somebody was, if you had a dry mouth, he had a piece of candy for you. It was always this lemon." The magician, you'll see we have a magician here for you. And I think that's the thing about Ken that for me and my colleagues, when we are out there and we're meeting with alumni, it's the faculty that really truly are the key. And I know he was an administrator, but he was always a teacher. And I think it's awesome that we just put our first full-time faculty member into the Engineering Hall of Fame. So congrats, thank you for everything. And we have a couple different things. Today is our giving day, and we always like to try to have events. So what better day than to celebrate what Ken and your family has just done. But we have refreshments there, plenty of candy. We'll have a magician, and then if you are so inclined, we're also doing a celebration for our alumni at Fuddruckers, which is at 10 Mile and Evergreen. You're more than welcome to come join us there. Many people have asked me, how could I honor Ken? And you can give to what we've established as well to continue to build further on that. Today, you can go to LTU.LTU/LTU Giving Day, and it will get you to links, and you'll see a drop-down menu there, and you can pick the Kenneth Cook endowment. So we'll add that to that. We've already had some gifts come in for that. And we thank you for sharing Ken with us. And more than anything, I would tell you that when I started in this role, Ken was the first person I dealt with, actually, because he had told me he wanted to do something. And I wasn't really prepared for the meeting like I thought I was, because I have major ADD, if you know me, but Ken, I don't know if he had ADD, but he was always multitasking many different projects. So what should have been a 5-minute conversation, we covered 100 things. But I think that's what I always loved about him. You could be serious, have some fun, go back to serious, but you always got it done when you're talking to Ken. So thank you, and please enjoy the refreshments.